you.
Oh yeah.
I just recently stopped smoking weed. It was really bad for me.
It's like me and my girlfriend have our medical cards, so it's not a big deal. And they like legalized it in Connecticut recently and everything. So that was actually why I was like, oh, I can do it on YouTube now without repercussions. That's like been their rule all along.
I just go through very highs and lows emotionally when I smoke weed.
Oh, so I totally get that.
I would start having arguments with my girlfriend for no reason, and then once I would sober up, I'd just be like, "This is fucking retarded. Like, why am I even arguing about this?"
I'm just high and don't want to be bothered.
Yeah, pretty much. But also, it also kills my creativity completely. Like, I can't do anything. Like, I can sit down and not write a word. So I was falling behind in a lot of things just because all I wanted to do was get high, eat, and play video games.
Oh, I'm the exact opposite. Let's see, I get high if I sit and play video games. I feel like I'm like wasting time. I feel like weirdly guilty with myself, and I like turn into my own parent.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Yeah, I haven't.
I would feel guilty, but I wouldn't do anything about it. You know, where I would just be like, "Well, I feel like shit. I should really be doing something, but let me just smoke a little bit more." Yeah, let me just smoke a little bit more so I can feel worse.
I should do something productive and masturbate.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not gonna get into that, but yeah, but yes, it would make it last too long to the point where I would hurt my dick, and I would just be like, "Why did you do that?" So that's another reason why I'm still smoking weed. Yeah,
you weren't in Vegas for production stuff, right? You were just like visiting.
No, I was going for a wedding, like my girlfriend's family. Invited me to a wedding, so I just went there too. I've never been to Vegas before, so that was cool.
I haven't either. Very, very cool.
Very hot.
Gotta be wild getting married out there.
Yeah, it sucked because they had this fat bulldog there. I think they were from Arizona or something, or California. And they had this fat bulldog, and they had him in like one of those dog hotels that they have there, with like someone taking care of it, but it still got like a heat stroke and died.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was really dark.
Yeah,
like the dog was there on the wedding, and then the day after, I think they left him out for too long, and he just fucking died.
Oh my god,
a fat bulldog. Yeah,
said a dark note. Yeah, those guys, that breed in general is like known for that kind of shit. They just have breathing problems in general, too. They can, like, suffocate on their own slobber on a fucking day like that. That's horrible.
They can't even mate naturally. Did you know that?
Oh, really? You just gotta, like, mount them up for them?
You just gotta jerk them off and collect that seed.
Horsey style. So now you know anybody that's got a bulldog breeding farm is fucking... Yeah, right. Jeff is just beating off bulldogs.
You're gonna suck it off.
The fastest hands in the West.
Yeah, some kid told you that when you were 10 and you've just been masturbating bulldogs ever since.
You're gonna suck off the bulldog and spit it into the female bulldog's vagina.
Yeah. Do what you love.
Local retard thinks that he's saving the bulldog population. Inspiring story of stupidity.
I just have jars all over my house on bookshelves and just bulldog jizz I've collected.
Just different breeds of dog cum.
This is a vintage 93.
I got a little tap and I taste it.
That fucking rocks.
It's ready.
Oh man.
Smell the cup like it's wine. Just this is a mix.
My one rule though, never spit.
I wish I could remember more breeds of bulldogs right now than British.
French, right? That's one.
Oh, yeah. A French-British blend.
French bulldog. There's that's all I know.
Tastes like brie.
That's the rosé of bulldog semen.
Very sweet.
Oh, is this a Moscato bulldog blend?
Oh man, Moscato got me fucking in a lot of trouble as a teenager.
It will.
What's that? Is that the one that's like $3 the liter?
It's a dessert wine, so it's like super sweet.
Yeah, so it's the one in like the mid 2000s, like rappers caught wind of, and then it was in like every song. It's literally like Juicy Juice, but it's alcoholic. It's just fucking so fruity and sweet and easy to drink.
It's an awful hangover, I can imagine.
Oh, it's probably the sugariest wine there is. So the hangover is just like apocalyptic. You are laid up. But I used to get like fucking that cheap ass Barefoot company makes their like wiffle ball, the like super bat wiffle ball size one. That is just fucking absolutely obscene.
Like skinny wine and
yeah,
all
it's
these
like
50-year-old housewife wines.
Yeah, it's like a 3-liter bottle of wine for like $12. We used to rent like log cabin up in New Hampshire in the midsummer, and we'd go up there with a bunch of friends and just stock up on a bunch of beer and shitty wine and stuff and get absolutely obliterated there. And Barefoot Moscato was always one of the go-tos.
Do you guys have a liquor that you can't drink because at one time you drank too much, and now if you drink it, you just feel like throwing up?
Dubra. Mountain Dubra, man. It's a plastic bottle of vodka. It's like bottom shelf vodka. That was I think it's supposed to be like a Russian company, or they're like emulating just like Russian motifs. But it is like in taste and smell and everything. It is like nail polish remover. But it was like, I want to say when we were like 14, 15, there was one liquor store in town where the guy would just sell shit to underage kids. And another one where you could just like pay this homeless guy that hung out near it to go in and get you liquor. You just had to buy him a 40.
Those Americana stories, huh?
Yeah, 40 and a black and mild, and he would get you whatever else you wanted. Really cool dude, this dude Mace. We found out years later he was one of our buddies' father.
Wow.
Yeah, just a crazy crackhead that could not get his shit together and admittedly belonged to the streets, as he liked to say it.
He wanted to stain his boy's life by getting him alcohol.
Oh, he was completely conscious that he had like a family and stuff, and just did not want to go home.
Catched in the cradle with the silver spoon.
Like a hobo survivalist. And we don't even we don't live in like a small town. Like, it's not like bumfuck area, but it's also not a city. So it's like he's just like the homeless guy in town. It's not like there's like a homeless population here.
He's like your Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah, and he's like all around town. He has a really nice radio and a really nice bicycle that he rides around everywhere. He like volunteers at the soup kitchen in town, which
for himself.
Yeah, like buses in homeless people from out of town, and I'm like, you're like the only guy here. I don't get it. I think it's actually closed now.
Spaghettios for himself.
They don't talk about that shit with COVID, man. Everybody's shutting down the homeless shelters.
Is that happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, how's that for fucked up, man? A couple of them in Connecticut I know shut down big time, and I'm like, damn, dude.
Well, you know what? Maybe they should stop being homeless. How about trying that?
Yeah, right. God
But then
damn.
what would they call themselves? They can't be homeless no more.
As a guy
their
who was
identity.
homeless right out of high school briefly, I know how bad that sucks, and that's super fucking lame, but I doubt you'd hear anything about that. Hey, dudes, freaking
There's
YouTube
tons of
notifications
panhandling
are
now,
a joke. Oh, yeah, YouTube notifications suck dick, and I try to tweet it out, but I don't think you're on Twitter anymore, Peter. Probably for the best. But good to see you, dudes. Yeah.
Do you have any panhandlers up there? Like, I see them everywhere now.
Oh no, like I said, we got that one dude, and he'll just be like, "What's up?" Like, he knows like everyone in town by name, and he'll just be like, "What's up? You got $1?" And if you're like, "No," he'll be like, "All right, yo, see you later." He's
I'll stab you.
The friendly. Yeah, no, it's not like that at all. He's the friendliest dude in the world. Actually, do you guys remember? I think it was a couple of years back in the summertime. There was a kid on mushrooms in a cow suit eating grass outside of a 7-Eleven, and it was like a video that went viral on Twitter and Instagram and a bunch of shit. It's just like some
furry porn.
It was like a teenager. He was in a cow costume just eating grass outside of a 7-Eleven, and he was very clearly on psychedelics. It was all over the place. That's in my hometown, like like a town or two over from where I live. Like literally, that's like the 7-Eleven where we used to buy blunts and hang out. I was trying to give you an idea of the kind of area I live in. It's like a little bit of Boston, a little bit of New York, and then a lot of Hartford.
It's wholesome homelessness.
Yeah. Good old-fashioned 80s homelessness.
Your friendly neighborhood homeless person.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever been out to Connecticut, Hans. I know you're not from over here.
No, I've been to what's the one that's just, hold on, let me pull out the map.
You're in Mass.
I lived
right,
in New Mexico. I lived in New Mexico for a year when I was 17 because my uncle was living there, and I just went up there to finish high school. But besides that, I've been to Arizona, I've been to Vegas, and I've been to New York. And I stayed in what is this fucking place? Virginia for a couple of days just to visit. No, hold on. Was it Virginia? Yeah, I think it was Virginia for a couple of days just to visit a friend on my way to New York. So I'm not very familiar on. Oh well, in Boston when we shot the movie.
Yeah.
But besides that,
wild.
yeah.
What area of Virginia? Like the DC area?
No, it was. Fuck, I wish I remember what it was called. But it was really close to whatever is closest to New York. Or was it Connecticut? Fuck, I don't know. One of those white states.
I was gonna say Connecticut's like super white and super old. I just grew up in like the one county that, like Hartford County, the capital county, is probably the most hood fucking county. It's I'm pretty sure it's predominantly black now. Like I grew up in a neighborhood where like me and my two brothers were like
black.
3 of 5 white kids, I think, in the area.
Were you a Wigger, Spencer?
No. I have tons of friends that grew up in that regard, but I was very selectively into rap music, and I didn't really get like big into rap music until I was way older. I've always been like a gay metal kid.
Did you own Jinkos at any point?
The whole skinny jeans phase until I like exploded into like a freakish, gigantic human being, and then I was like, well, if I wear skinny jeans, I'm gonna look like Dr. Eggman now. I'm like 280 pounds and fucking 6 foot, like 2, 3, fucking looking like a fucking weirdo. I also.
Did you ever drink Faygo?
Aaron Hernandez is from a couple towns away from me. Actually, we used to like see Aaron Hernandez out and about before he ever got signed to the Patriots. He went to like a lot of clubs and shit with older friends. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if I know a dude that banged him. I have a friend that fucked Pauly D years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, she was really proud of it, so she told everybody, and then she wasn't proud of it when we all ripped on her. And then it was
that's one of the bunch though.
It was around the time his actual age came out too, and she was like mortified that she'd basically banged an old guy.
Isn't he like 45 or something?
He's old as fuck.
Yeah.
He's the oldest one in the cast.
He's a kid too, like an old like teenager kid.
Yeah, 41 now.
41.
Yeah, he was old as shit, and early on the show, he was saying he's like 26 or some crazy shit.
He's collecting Social Security.
There's no more shows like that, right? Like, what's the equivalent of garbage reality now?
There's I think there's still Jersey Shore like every once in a while, but it's like weirdly wholesome now. My fucking girlfriend watches all that stuff. Yeah, Florida Bama.
Going.
Sorry, what's that? Florida Bama?
Florida Bama Shore is like a gold mine of just madness and stupidity. If you're into that kind of just reality TV trash, that one was one of the few where I was just
they shoot
like,
it in Panama
shit.
City Beach, which is like 2 hours away from me.
Yeah, I would
like
get drunk and watch that with my girlfriend and laugh like an idiot. It's insane. He's 41 and old as shit. Well, dude, he's like Botoxed out and looks insane. Like he's a 41-year-old dude who is very clearly like horrified of aging and has done that route where it basically like speeds it all up for you. Like it just makes at least I do. I immediately assume people are way fucking older when they're all Botoxed out and like flat and waxy looking. I'm just immediately like, oh yeah, how many years is this guy like sticking off his life? Peter's like, I'm 43. I'm 31, man, and I just had my first like, holy fuck, I'm gonna die. Like,
what happened? I was gonna say that they have skin like a burn victim that is just very like tight. Very,
yeah,
like,
that hot dog skin, man. You still somehow have all your features, but they're a little bit swollen and everything. Your complexion becomes this like bruise. That's the thing. Pauly D has like a perfect tan all around, and then his face is just like a strange shade of purple.
The thing is, they're all Italian, so like in like maybe 5 years from now, all their skin's just gonna hang off of them.
Yeah, it's
they're
like
turn to prunes.
It's like the Japanese. The same thing with the women over there. It's either leather handbag at like 35, or they're just flawless till they go into the ground. They get like silver hair, but they're still hot at 90. But the majority are always, it's like aging like milk. Irish too. My people are not doing good, man.
Well, the Irish,
I get that.
They're like a baseline of shit. Like it's either like gorgeous or shit.
Yeah, Irish women when they're hot, they're just like ungodly. Like there was literally a chick at the Disney like Ireland section when we went down there the first time, and I was loaded, and I'm there with my girlfriend, and we walked in and she greeted us, and my girlfriend was like, "Get the fuck out of here," and literally turned me around and walked me out of the building. It's just like this knockout Irish chick from Ireland with a thick Irish accent. I was like, oh god, they put her right at the front register for a reason. Like they knew what they were doing. Everyone else is like a guy who just looks like a potato in a vest.
I'm afraid of that because I always get that I look younger. I'm 35, but I always get that I look younger than that. And I think it's because I'm Chinese, like part Chinese. But the thing with Chinese people is that if you look young for most of your life, it comes to a point where, I don't know, a year or two, and then you just become Asian. You just look like a wise old Chinese
you're
man.
Gonna be mountaintop karate master.
Yeah, so I'm worried that once I lose a little bit more of my hair, I'm gonna look like a granddad from the Three Ninjas.
See, I never would have guessed that. I have no read on how old any of you dudes are, and it like doesn't matter to me, so I never asked. But I thought you were one of the younger ones in the headshot crew.
No, I'm just a shithead. I'm just very mature.
Yeah, right. I for a while was the young guy, and I think I am again if it's just me, Jeff, and Ryan, and Kayla. Technically, Kayla's older than me. Yeah, I'm the fucking baby.
36, so you're the baby.
Yeah, baby Arm Balboa is older than me. I watched. Jerry
But it is
Springer
like weird seeing actors that were like like always had the baby face, like what's his name, Karate Kid. Like you see him now, and he still looks like the same person, but like bloated.
Ralph
but he doesn't have like he doesn't have like the masculine. Like he doesn't age and become like Paul Newman. He just looks like a kid who keeps smoking the rest of his life.
It's like the party balloon effect, where like ripe, young, perfect party balloon, and then it's like gets a little overinflated looking later in the day, and then like a day or two later everything's sort of like inflated but sagging, and that's like that's Ralph Macchio. He's just like an inflated, saggy party balloon version of what he used to be. Jerry Springer had a 20-year-old on that looked 38. That's like me
that
before
show,
all
right?
this. Sorry.
That show is just everyone just looking shittier. Like they don't look worse, but they just look shittier than they did on the movies.
Oh,
so
yeah.
when you watch it, yeah, go on.
That was like that was one of the few things they were like successful with early on, was they played off of that, like, wow, we all look like dog shit. Like there's no coming back from this. And it was like, oh wow, like a show that's like actually like conscious of what it is, and it's not fucking corny. Like a lot of stuff is sort of, I guess that's being meta now, which is in fucking like everything now, so it's almost not even a thing anymore. When everything's doing it, it's nothing fucking special. But that was one of the few shows where it was kind of like, looked at itself in the mirror and was like, "Oh yeah, this sucks. We if we're gonna take this seriously, we're gonna need to do a lot of making fun of ourselves."
On the show, they had the Asian girl that he hooked up with in part 2, and she looked great. You know, she was still like amazing for her age. But then they brought the girl from the first movie in the most recent season, and she's really looking plasticky now. It's like,
that was like
this is the girl they're fighting over all seasons.
The one that fucking always gets brought. Oh, fucking I can't remember her name now. The chick in Top Gun.
Kelly. No, what's her name?
All I know is Tom Cruise looks like he's barely aged. She looks
Kelly
like
McGillis. She looks like shit. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, she's like the portrait of Dorian Gray for Tom Cruise. She's like been aging for the both of them ever since they shot that movie, and it's fucking insane. Kelly McGinnis. Yeah.
Yeah, she looks like she's. I mean, I don't know. Like Tom Cruise does look like a beast, and you see her looks like his grandma.
Yeah, and
she was hot in that movie too.
Yeah, she was like
that's the worst part of it. That if you're like, yeah, that's the girl from Top Gun. She's a grandmother now. It's very depressing.
Yeah, she looks like the American Jane Judi Dench.
Yeah, that's exactly. It looks like Judi Dench and Paula Deen got mashed together. It's insane.
Wait, do they call her Dame Judi Dench because she was like knighted in the UK?
Yeah, she was knighted by the Queen.
Can they fucking stop with that? That is so fucking lame. You know, it's just like, it's an actor, and now you have to call him Sir whatever. Why? Because they acted in a couple of good things. Oh, great!
Ashley
I think it'd be great if they called them into action to defend England. All these 80-year-old actors just show up.
Just remembering a bunch of actresses that aged like potatoes. Ashley Judd. I can't remember.
Sharon Stone looks like shit now.
I thought Sharon Stone was the one who recently did I thought she showed her pussy again recently, and she was still looking like normal.
Well, did she on Twitter or something? Was she asking for attention?
Oh no, she looks pretty bad now. Yeah, I remember seeing something everybody was sharing around. She's definitely showing her age now, but somebody was sharing something. She
was sharing her pussy, but it was just a manhole.
Yeah, right. She did a photo shoot recently, I thought. Where she was nude again. It was in the last couple of years. How old is she now?
Crazy now.
At 61 years old, she posed topless and recreated a scene from Basic Instinct.
Her uterus just comes out by itself. It's just old. She crosses her leg and it just falls out.
I'll share the picture real quick. It's just a gaping black
It just walks out with luggage, going on vacation.
Yeah. You can't tell in this photo, but she's completely nude here. Her vagina is just the absence of color.
That's just how used up it is. It's just an entirely black hole.
Absolute blackness.
It's a leather wallet.
Yeah. She did that at 61. I don't know how old she is now. We can reverse engineer this. Okay, she did that 2 years ago.
Can you guys so much Photoshop and shit too, though? They're airbrushing the shit out of her in those pictures.
How about Hillary Clinton? She really let herself go too.
Holy fuck, she looked terrible in those pics.
That beach
Marlon
photo.
Brando,
yeah, dude, that was amazing.
She reminded me of Island of Dr. Moreau, Marlon Brando.
Yeah, you gotta Photoshop her face on there and build.
That's what losing to Trump did to her.
That movie has one of the best documentaries attached to it of all time. Have you watched that?
Yeah.
Oh my god, was it Lost Souls or something like that?
Yeah. When what's his name, Richard Stanley sneaks into the set.
Yeah, dude. It sounds like it could be its own narrative movie. I was like, this should have been the movie we got. Is this weird gay hipster espionage thriller of this guy trying to get back into his movie production.
And you got Val Kilmer just being an absolute asshole to everyone.
Yeah, that movie could potentially be cited as the reason Val Kilmer got cancer.
I don't like his arc now with this documentary where they're trying to make me feel bad about this guy who was a complete asshole for most of his adult life because he believed on his ability for acting too much.
And I've talked about it on here. He came to he tabled at a convention that we did like years ago now. And it was like a year or so after his cancer stuff, I'm pretty sure. It may have been like right towards the tail end of it. But he had like pulled through it and he was tabling at cons again, wearing like the scarf to cover his neck up and everything. But he was barely at his table the entire fucking time we were there. We could not fucking get near him. And I think I saw him like once or twice the whole weekend. We were never able to talk to him. Like, I just wanted to ask him about Heat and see if he had like a Heat headshot or something. Because it's like, fuck yeah, I'll get something from Heat. Never ran into him.
Now he's just an old lady that's appropriating Native American culture with the way he dresses.
Yeah, he's just rocking turquoise and fucking wampum beads and shit.
Have you heard his music?
No.
What?
Yeah, you need to Google that.
This show needs more talking heads and flashing icons.
Let's pull that
is it like Bruce Willis's music?
Oh, it's amazing. It's the greatest thing over here.
Dude, Bruce Willis's music is like critically acclaimed, which is fucking insane to me. Like,
what is it, Bruno, right?
Yeah, for its time, it was like weirdly respected and got like really solid reviews. Is like hearing that blew my mind more than hearing that Bruce Willis had music in general. And it's like him, isn't it him with hair too?
Yeah, with a little bit, with like me,
it's still
like,
the hair
like kind of like receding. Yeah, but who's that? Seth, the guy
you
from
could
Family
still
Guy.
you could still do like Last Boy Scout fucking Bruce Willis hair though. You're not like going crazy bald.
It's a contrast. It's a contrast.
White beater.
The lack of light right now. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, you put a bald black guy next to you, you'll look like you have a full head of hair, dude.
What's the creator of Family Guy that does like crooning or like jazz
Seth
singing?
MacFarlane. He's another Connecticut motherfucker. He has a house not too far from here. Rich bastard.
Closeted. Yep.
Yeah, you can see how closeted from his front yard. Actually, I drunkenly pissed in the basement foundation of his neighbor's house when they were building the development.
Does he have like a Stewie statue outside of his house so he knows his house?
No, you would never know he lives there. He lives in the same town that Michael Bolton has a house in. Michael Bolton, though, you can't see his house from the road. It's like lined by like forest. And it has a gate at the front with 2 giant lion statues on pedestals. Michael Bolton shit is dope. It looks like a drug kingpin straight out of Scarface or something.
It's so funny how people like him were able to become zillionaires because they just came up with that type of music at a perfect time. Because I couldn't imagine them being successful in a time like now with that type of music.
Just
they were able to
hot oldies.
Yeah, they were able to just find the exact perfect time where that type of music will make them a millionaire and then just live off whatever hits they have. I couldn't name one song by him, but I know that there's multiple.
I don't even remember if he did he do
it's tapping
like original? Because I know
like it's tapping into the bored housewife market where it's just disposable
I was just
income.
about to say it's like that Tom Jones like method where it's just like horny dried up moms like because like
he's a mature looking guy too. Like he has that thing where it's like for a 50-year-old woman she can still imagine getting with him, but he's also not gonna just bang her and leave. Like he might cuddle afterwards.
Michael Bolton, like one of his most famous songs, I'm pretty sure is a cover of a Joe Cocker song. I'm pretty sure When a Man Loves a Woman was like so big for him. I'm pretty sure it's on all of his like greatest hits albums. Like that's literally just like there's so many dudes like that made millions off of just selling retreads of music to horny moms.
Well, it's because because you couldn't picture a mom wanting to fuck Joe Cocker, so I guess it works by having someone that's slightly less gross than Joe Cocker singing that song.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine anyone fucking Joe Cocker other than
You
another
can't
Joe
tell
Cocker.
what his O face is because he's always making an O face.
Yeah, like every limb has a different kind of Tourette's.
Like Meatloaf. You guys remember Meatloaf? Like how was that guy successful ever? Yeah. I mean, he's also have a couple of bangers, but
yeah, just having a while because that guy has like a 4-octave vocal range or some insane shit. Ugly as all hell, but that's another one of those times that just doesn't exist anymore. We were talking about it the other night of like the era of ugly actors. That's what I'm I want to get back to is like maybe fucking casting people off of what's that stupid fucking website now that you can find people's headshots and everything? I always want to call it Backpage, which is the hooker one. I think it's called Backstage.
Don't mix those up.
you can look for like union and non-union actors in the area and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I can actually find fucking weird, ugly people, and they could potentially
cast your film with hookers. You went to the wrong one.
Accidentally, because I went to the wrong one. I just have a bunch of drag queens and prostitutes and shit showing up. Like,
and they're actually better because they listen.
It would just be like a Hollywood movie. Am I right, guys?
Yeah, right.
Hey.
Yeah, but I was like getting back to that fucking like the 70s grindhouse movies and stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's still character actors, but even character actors today is like they're more done up. It's not like it used to be. There's a few like real standouts and stuff like that. Like was it John Carroll Lynch is a pretty fugly dude who is all over shit now. He's in those American Horror Stories. He was in Zodiac.
He's getting up there now too, though. Like he's getting older.
Oh yeah, he's the same thing with that. Who's the one? I think BoJack Horseman made her a character, and she's just referred to as like character actor in her name.
Peter Engstrom brings up a good one. Walter Matthau was a box office draw. Yeah.
Yeah,
like, taking the Pelham 1, 2, 3. Like he was the lead actor in that movie.
Did you guys see the John Travolta taken with Pelham 1, 2, 3?
I have. I remember it being wild and just like a movie that did because was he still bald for that one too?
He was. Yeah. I think that was the first movie where he was bald. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, that was the start of the bald run.
Was it the first one or was it the French one he did? No, he also did that French.
Love?
Yeah.
Dude, that movie is one of the best like mushroom movies ever. It's like him and Jonathan Rhys Meyers or some shit. That movie.
Oh, is that who it was?
Have you seen that?
No.
Holy shit. You want to... I feel like that's a good like civic TV movie for you guys if none of the dudes have ever seen that. Like, look... Yeah. I would have never seen that movie if it wasn't for the dudes I was living with at like 20 years old. I moved basically back to my hometown to do vocals in a fucking like post-hardcore band, and at the time was essentially homeless, had nowhere to live, and one of the guitarists was just like, come fucking be our couch guy, dude. Crash on our couch, get a job, figure shit out from there. And that's essentially what I did, and became like a full like rent-paying roommate within a couple of months, and set up a room in their basement. But one of my roommates in that house was like a diehard fan of that movie for whatever fucking reason, and convinced us one night to watch it while I was tripping, and it's just ridiculous. It's John Travolta thinks he is the fucking most badass action hero ever. And he convinced himself during the production of that film that he was like through and through. And that's why we got like I Am Wrath and all those other fucking insane like red box John Travolta action movies afterwards. He was just like, yeah, baby, this is me.
Wait, what the fuck is I Am Wrath?
Oh, dude. Okay. So I mix it up all the time, but I Am Wrath is like a red box movie, and I think it's like
look at that hairpiece. Look at that hairpiece on the poster. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing about Travolta, that now he shaves his head and he's like, oh yeah, I'm just like doing this shaving my head thing. Like he hasn't been bald for like 15 years. He's using terrible hair pieces.
Mm-hmm.
It's him and Christopher Maloney though. And
terrible hair pieces and beards.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Swordfish. Who was?
Oh yeah, Swordfish.
Yeah,
Hugh Jackman and Halle Berry.
Halle Berry's titties.
And it was all just for that one scene that was like the Matrix knockoff scene with the explosives.
Skip Woods was the writer. I remember at the time. Was this one of the ones that got like one of the biggest paychecks ever? Because I remember it getting like a bunch of press. Swordfish, that is. Evidently, this dude also wrote the Kane and Lynch script that was announced like 10 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that never came out. It was supposed to originally be, I think, Bruce Willis and Jamie Foxx, which was like, God damn it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I loved those games growing up, and I was like, Jamie Foxx is Lynch and Bruce Willis was Kane. It's like, what the fuck, dude? You gotta get Stavros Halkias from Cumtown as Waingro now that he has the Waingro hair. Lynch is just a retread of Waingro. That'd be funny as fuck. Fat Lynch. Yeah,
I'm not a fan of Travolta that much. Like I've been, I feel like his career is very much compared to Nicolas Cage's career, but at one point Nicolas Cage just decided to be awesome. And the thing is, like before, when I was in film school and all that, there was a lot of Nicolas Cage shaming where everyone would just say he's such a shit actor or whatever. So I didn't really pay that much attention to his career. But recently, I've been watching just like his 90s and early 2000s run, and I'm a fan now. Like I'm a huge. We recorded a Civic TV episode yesterday, and I asked the question, who would be the most famous Coppola or the most successful Coppola once it's all done? And Lores said that, of course, Francis. Like Francis is, the one that has the most. Well, when it comes to film history and whatever, and I said, well, Nicolas Cage is the most recognizable one, the most successful, I guess you could say. And it's funny because, well, both him and Jerry completely disagree with me. And then Lores put up a poll on Instagram, and it was like 80% of people saying Nicolas Cage because he's, for most people, no one can tell you who Francis Ford Coppola is unless you're like a film nerd that actually cares about who
and he's had movies. Some real dog shit too, hasn't he?
Well, he hasn't made anything good in like 30 years.
I mean, he did he had a hand in bringing Captain EO to life with fucking Disney and Michael Jackson. He's done all sorts of weird shit, and even off of Godfather and stuff like that, he went and did some insane stuff. But like you're saying, I don't think like the everyday audience is ever. Again, he's not in front of the camera; he's behind it. I think you see him in Apocalypse Now in an early scene. I think he's one of the photographers on the beach, right? He's one of the film crew. Yeah.
The thing that I can really appreciate about Nicolas Cage is that he always goes for it. It doesn't matter what movie you watch from him; he's always at like a different level of crazy, or he just goes full in. Yeah, I'm a huge fan. I watched Snake Eyes recently and Face Off, and
you've seen 8mm.
That is at the
snuff film one. 8mm is a huge influence on the script I'm working on right now that I'm sending to you. That's why I'm like, if you haven't seen that, that's one of his best 90s ones. And it's like Stormare, him,
Gandolfini?
Gandolfini's got a great part in it. Dude, that's one of the last like real like grimy, gross movies I can think of in that wave of like I think that movie probably never would have gotten made if it weren't for, I think 7 came right before that. But like,
I think it was around the same time.
That's like something where like it probably wouldn't have gotten greenlit if it wasn't for the success of shit like 7, because that one has like a grime and filth to it without feeling like it's just like outright aping from 7. And it's like rides that line of like just playing it serious enough while also having a little bit of that, like Zubox is saying here, great schlock. Yeah, it's like that line of like you get a little bit of the schlocky Nicolas Cage and then a lot of really dark shit. It's almost like a 90s take on what is it, hardcore?
Hardcore.
The
and you also get stuff
one.
where like his craziness really works with it. You know, like Mandy
Zoobox
and
literally said
Wild
at
at
the
Heart.
exact same time. It's populist hardcore. It's a rough watch. It's kind of like it's got like Serbian film vibes for a wider audience. It's more palatable. You can show it in a room with family members, but they'll just be like, "Why did you show this to me?" Instead of like, "Get out of the house."
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I used to really think not much of him, but I think I've just completely turned around when it comes to his filmography, just because I know what to expect now from his performances, so I just enjoy how all out he goes. Face Off is one that if it wasn't him, I don't think it would work at all. But the fact that he goes all like balls out with his performance when he's him and when he's the other or pretending to be the other character, that's
the only Travolta thing I'm excited for right now. Is they said Simon Barrett, I think, is writing a new Face Off sequel with Adam Wingard. And they're both signed on to come back and do that. I'm like, all right, you've got me interested in Travolta again. Like, if he's with Nick Cage, cool. Like, I'm totally down. But Wingard is like really hit or miss now. When it's one Simon for him, Barrett, they're pretty cool.
Simon Barrett is also very. I liked what he. I think he is that the.
I'm looking forward to his directorial debut. They actually just announced, I think today, that it's coming to Shudder in like September. Seance,
yeah. I got that. I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, let's see, Seance.
You and your industry friends.
Yeah, me and my screenings that I get legally from not from a website on the internet at all. But yeah, I remember I watched
from an email on the internet. I could eat a peach for hours. Yeah, dude, fucking Con Air. Like little kid me thought that was like the pinnacle of like what a badass man could be. Was it Cameron Poe? I was like, God damn.
Well, another thing with Nick Cage too, like Nick Cage actually got buff for his roles when he was an action star, and Travolta just still just stayed a fat shit in all his movies. He's just layered up.
Chub.
Yeah, 97. Yeah, exactly. 7-year-old me was like, I want to be Cameron Poe when I grow up.
Eventually, he has a scarf around his neck to hide his double chin.
Was it just tie a ribbon around the old oak tree? I'm coming home.
Yeah.
That's the thing with Cage. Like he, even when he has long hair, like he still has that widow's peak that he's got, and he's like, fuck it, like he's still cool. He's wearing a wife beater in that movie, and like just his facial expressions and everything. Same with The Rock is another one where
he looks like comic book Dracula. Like he kind of looks like Gene Colan's Dracula from back in the day now with his fucking crazy hairline. And I'm like shocked he hasn't been asked to be like he could be like the new, what was it, Leslie Nielsen that did that fucking comedy Dracula back in the day? Like that was with the naked gun people.
Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Dude, yeah, just get like Nicolas Cage in a fucking stupid comedy. Like,
put him in a serious one too. I want to see both.
Yeah, dude. Let him get wild too.
Let him just play Dracula for the next decade.
That's who fucking, what is it, Eggers needs to get for the fucking Nosferatu remake. Nicolas Cage for Orlok, or we fucking riot. Yeah,
I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel. I like Eggers, but I don't like when they just go back and revisit old properties that don't really need to be revisited. I feel like Nosferatu, like the original one, is perfect. Like I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And then you see what's it called? The one with Willem Dafoe playing Count Orlok. Yeah, that one's also really good.
Shadow of the Vampire, is that it?
Yes. Yeah. That was also great.
I remember seeing that when I was
a little kid. Also do it?
I think so, yeah. I remember seeing that as a little kid and being like that was a modern movie that I thought was way older and actually scared the shit out of me still as a kid. And I was desensitized early on. Like my dad was a fucking nutcase. He worked for the cable company briefly and got basically what they were always referred to as scrambler boxes around me. I don't know if there was a better term for them, but it's basically like a stolen cable box. And we
still do that over here.
Yeah, like Showtime, Cinemax, HBO, all this shit like early in the 90s. And I remember watching Chucky on like HBO, or well, it was Child's Play on like HBO or Showtime or something, like late at night with my dad. And I was like 5 or 6 years old and was just completely fucked up for like a month after that. And then I was just hooked on horror movies after that. I'm still to this day like irrationally afraid of just like weird dolls and shit. Like you can put a doll in the room, I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna get this out of here. But like love horror movies. I learned to take the closet door off of my bedroom. I was so terrified of fucking the idea of a small doll coming to life. I was like, it'll hide there. So I'm just gonna make it all open.
That is, I think, the only movie that actually traumatized me too, because I saw it at like 5. I was still living in Mexico, and my family, for whatever reason, were watching that first one. And I've always loved toys and like figures and things like that, and that put me off those things for a while. And the worst thing was that my uncles had no kids at the time. They were very young, so they would just bully me and scare me at night. So that for about, I don't know, 5 years or something made me completely afraid of any type of doll or toy or anything like that, just because of, me being afraid of it coming to life and killing me somehow. Even though that concept is kind of retarded if you really think of it, just punt the doll. Like it's not really that dangerous. It's not very. Just punt it across the room.
Chucky is like the weakest to face off.
Yeah. So what is he going to do? He's going to jump at you? Yeah, you just push it aside. Like, what is a little doll? But that's a little boy, like irrational. Same with The Exorcist. The Exorcist, I watched it when I was old. I watched it at like 18 or 19 after, I was told that I was supposed to watch it.
You see the really long like piss cut and all that too? The director's cut or whatever it was? Mm-hmm. That's exactly how I experienced it.
With the spider walk and everything. It was just
the most unintentional comedy ever. Like
with the faces just popping up, and he's like, "What? Oh, all right, I guess that's scary." It didn't really
do shit out of me.
I didn't see that one young. Like I remember,
I saw that when I was like 12, I think, when it came out.
Yeah, I know.
That special edition, and I went to a Christian school, so like demons and possession just fucked me up, and so I saw that like, this is the most evil thing ever.
I did school for that 2 years, and that shit, I was so burnt out on satanic shit by the time I was like 10 years old. I was like, oh, this is fucking corny. Like my older brother was like in the goth scene and always had like gay goth girlfriends around talking about Anton LaVey and shit. So like at a very young age, I was just laughing constantly and getting exposed to really weird, dark shit. You know, Jeff, like I'm a big nut for like splatter horror and slasher flicks and shit like that. So stuff like The Exorcist just didn't jump out at me for a really long time. I was just a big like gore fest idiot. I'm sure my mom probably thought I was going to grow up to be like a serial killer, but it was like boyish face till like 4 or 5 years ago. His beard just showed up one morning.
That's what they always say when like you like horror movies or heavy metal, but the serial killers are always just ordinary people that love like Disney movies.
Yeah, it's always the guy who loves rom-coms and country music.
Yeah. And I want to eat your face off.
I grew up still live in a third world country where they would push religion as like a thing that you should be scared of and not, do bad things because you'll end up in hell and all that shit. So we have I'm sure
basic.
I'm sure you guys have it up there too, the Holy Week, that week, a week in April where all they played here on regular TV would be Bible movies. And that shit used to scare the fuck out of me because it would just look all dirty and old. And for whatever reason, that would give me anxiety as a kid to the point where before going to sleep, I would have panic attacks at night thinking that if I was good, I would go to heaven and then heaven was forever. So then I would just be like, wait, it never ends? What the fuck am I going to do for eternity? Like, that sounds awful. Like, I'll be like, well, all right, fine. Today I'll have an apple, and then tomorrow another apple, and then the day after
That gives
another
me
apple
panic
from the
attacks,
same
dude.
tree. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So at like 10 years old, I would walk to my parents' room and like stand next to their bed, not say anything until they would notice my presence, scare the fuck out of them because I'd just be standing there, and then I would be like, oh yeah, I can't sleep because I'm afraid of heaven being forever. And with my dad being like a third world country Mexican, would just be like, just fucking go to sleep. So I would go to
an
to
American
my room.
dad would be like, we're putting a lock on the boy's door on the outside. Like, that kid's gonna crush our skulls with a baseball bat.
Yeah, so I would just go into my room and just have a panic attack at night until I was be too tired to and just pass out. But I had that religion fear up until I was 18, where I kept going to church, and then I started realizing that it's all bullshit. And then one day, when we were flying to Mexico to visit my family, my mom was like, well, remember that you have to pray before the plane leaves, otherwise the plane is going to crash. And I was like, let me not pray this time and see what happens. And then nothing happened. And I was like, oh, I don't need to fucking do this thing. That's fine. And then I never prayed again.
God's bullshit. My mom's a liar. Hail Satan.
Yeah, he's going the opposite way with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
From that moment on, I was a goth 6-year-old. What's up, Padrino?
My name is now Beelzebub. You can call me that.
I had a similar experience when my parents got divorced. Fucking the church sided with my dad because my mom was like a stay-at-home mom and was never the one making donations. And my dad made all the donations. And then right after my parents' divorce went through, my dad just stopped going to the church. And the church like didn't invite us back or offer any help when my mom was struggling or anything. So I was like, oh, okay. This stuff is kind of bullshit. Like, it's kind of like we need to stay invested in their shit. Granted, this was the Catholic Church, and this was one church. I'm not saying all religion is like this. I got nothing against
it. Is.
Yeah, if religion works for you, go for it. Yeah, sure. But that was what broke it for me, and that was at like 9 years old. I got to see like the side of like the church can turn its back on you, and sometimes it does. And then like a couple of months later, they were trying to hit us up, and my mom was just like, nah, we're going to do it on our own. We found like a community center in the new town we moved to, and they helped us. And that's what made me be like, I should always just help people because I want to be like a decent person. And like, if you have the capacity to do it, you just do it. Not for fear of not getting to go to some exclusive after party or have to go to some shittier existence. And then I had my car accident at 27 where I had a fucking traumatic brain injury. I've talked about it a bunch, so I'm not going to get into it on here, but like essentially was like, had a brief period of time where I thought I was dead, had to go to like specialists for it and shit. But, essentially convinced myself, I was like, oh my God, what if hell is just like nothing skips a beat? Like you could die and not know you die, and it's just like you keep on living like the same sort of monotonous life. Because at the point in time where it happened, my comic career wasn't where it is now. I wasn't like writing as much as I am now. I wasn't really doing what I wanted to do with my life. And I was just like, oh my God, what if I'm just stuck doing this now? And like, it's not different from existence at all. I was like, holy shit. And that's what had me fucked up for so long after that. And they were just like, no, like you made like physically full recovery. Your brain's good. Now this is just you have mentally convinced yourself. Like, I'm like, oh fuck. But yeah, man, it's insanity.
One of the first in first grade, they told us like, you gotta be saved if you want to go to heaven, and they start telling you about hell and everything. And I remember, and like in first grade, wherever you walk anywhere, you always gotta get in line. So if you go into recess or you're going to lunch, you always gotta get in line. And I remember being like in line, walking around, and just having these visions of skeletons and burning and flames and nothing but pain and horror. And at 7 years old, that's all I could think of. And then like one night, I just rushed into my parents' bedroom at like 1 a.m, just crying, and they're like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to go to hell." They're like, holy shit, calm down. You're fine. You're 7 years old.
I did that fucking, what is that? Confessional. Jesus, why I couldn't remember that. I did that shit like once as a little kid. They used to ask you like if you wanted to. And I remember to confessing, only time I can remember that I ever like legitimately stole something. Like, and like, I mean, like stole something like it, like outright was just like, I'm taking this. I've accidentally like taken shit. Like I remember my parents used to bust my balls around girlfriends. We went into like a Walmart when I was a kid, and I put on like a t-shirt and a hat while my mom wasn't paying attention. And we just like walked out with it. My mom was like, what the fuck are you wearing when we were at home? Like I got out of the car at the house and she was like, what the fuck? Like you weren't in this. And I'm just wearing 2 t-shirts and a baseball hat. It was like a Boston Red Sox hat or something. And my dad was like a Boston fan. So it was like, oh, okay, I'm just going to put this on, not knowing what the fuck anything is. But I remember I stole a package of Pop Rocks, like a little fat kid. And I wasn't even a fat kid at the time, but stole a package of Pop Rocks from like a Blockbuster. And it was like, I'm taking these Pop Rocks and I know what I'm doing is bad. And I was like, I am so gnarly. And I did it and immediately felt fucking horrible after I ate them. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to hell. And then like we're at church the next Sunday and we did like this Sunday school thing that was after regular church, where it was like an extra hour where the kids just got to hang out. You got like candy for answering questions about Jesus, right? And stuff like that. And the parents got like an hour to like smoke cigarettes and drink coffee and bullshit. And I would just like crush shit at Jesus to get candy. I was like destined to be a fat guy, obviously. Just finding ways to get fat off Jesus.
I like the idea of you like crying as a kid, but with Pop Rocks in your mouth, like, listening to it.
That's my whole thing. Is like, I gotta bury my sadness in more candy just to get through the hour. Because at the end, our priest would be like, "Does anybody want to confess about anything?" And you could like go into the little booth thing with them, and
sit on his lap.
Yeah, right. This one's a 2-player. It's just a little one of them mounted street bikes, like an arcade game.
See, I never was allowed to go into those groups because when I was born in Mexico. My mom's from Costa Rica, so when we first moved here, I was 8, and I remember trying to go get my first communion, I think it's called.
Yeah,
and the priest was like, "Well, no, he's Mexican. He can't do that here." And I was like, "How are you being racist?" Yeah. And it's like, this country is worse than Mexico. Like, how am I not allowed to? But that's when I started realizing that Latin American countries, like, we just hate each other. Like, I know that everyone that's not Latin American pretty much see us as Mexicans. So as anyone from below the United States is pretty much Mexican, but they or we just don't like each other. So even though it's like very small differences, but that was like the first time when I was like, well, I kind of want to do this, and I know that I'm going to go to hell if I don't do this thing, but I wasn't allowed to do it. And then when I was like 17, 18, my mom was like, you should go to communion classes so that you can get your first communion. And then just myself picturing myself in a line with 7, 8-year-olds as a 6'2", 18-year-old dressed like a little boy with a candle. I was like, I'm not doing that shit. It's like, I'm fine. Like, I don't need that. And so I've never had a confession or anything like that.
We had a kid. There was later on, after we left that church, the church that inevitably like turned its back on my mom when she was like a single mom struggling. We joined this community center, and it obviously was like early 2000s. They, like everything at that point, still had a pretty religious like backbone to what they were doing. They had like a church, but it wasn't built at the time, which even as a kid like gave me like weird vibes. I was like, what? I'd never heard of that, like a new church. Like every church I knew of was just this old building that had like always been there. And then one day the building was done being built, and we went for one Sunday school, which they actually did on Saturdays. And It was a log cabin in the middle of the woods. And we came home. We told our mom about the experience. And my mom was immediately like, holy fuck, I signed you guys up for a cult. And pulled us out of it. And we never went back there. And the place was shut down like a year later. There was like an open investigation. They were like, what the fuck's going on here? And they were teaching some weirdo spin on Christianity.
You took us to a log cabin and said they were going to do some log jamming? I don't know what that means, Mom.
I just remember we were like sitting in there. I was like, so do we get candy for answering questions right? And they looked at me like I was like insane. Like I might as well have just been like painted red with horns. Like this place is weird. This church sucks.
I love how obsessed with candy you were as a child.
Oh yeah, dude, that's like what I'm saying. I was like, I was fucking destined to be a giant fat guy. I lucked out being really
going to funerals and like, is there candy here?
Yeah, is there gonna be candy at this?
Lifting the arm up, looking underneath the hand.
Just like fucking I'm forced to be a witness at a lethal injection. Someone said there'd be candy. Like
you know, go to your grandma's funeral. Are we getting sweet popcorn here? What's the snack?
Yeah.
Are there at least gummy bears, or were there something?
I'm famished, and I got a sweet tooth. Yeah, Pedrino. People are pretty religious here, but all the religious myths are mixed with like local legends and old native traditions. So technically, they're all pagan, which is kind of funny. Yeah, that's I mean, that's kind of all religions in general. And then you get to different regions, and that's all mixed together. That's why I'm like, religion is weird to talk about, even like between Catholics. I don't even think I'm technically, if I can say I'm Catholic, because fucking, I know I got baptized, and then my parents were like, we'll leave confirmation up to them.
Yeah, that's all I got too. I got baptism because I didn't have a choice. I didn't get circumcised or anything like that. So.
Oh man, I got.
Whip it out. Prove it.
Go on over to the Patreon to see it.
I mean, you did $5 a month to see my foreskin.
I guess we got to start that OnlyFans now.
We only got like 1 week of OnlyFans porn left. Come on, hurry up.
No, Jeff. I was gonna fucking save it for the podcast. They went back on it today.
What?
Yeah,
you mean they pulled out?
Yeah. Officially. And busted everywhere.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I mean, they're not gonna survive if they ban porn. Like that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like who uses that platform for anything that's not porn? I mean, I know that at the beginning, when OnlyFans first started, there were some podcasters and people like that would use it as like a Patreon type of thing, but everyone uses just to look at.
Keep busting or go bust.
Well, the stigma too, like you associate it with porn, the name, like just saying, "Oh yeah, go to my OnlyFans, I sell art there." It's gonna be weird. It's like like having a Pornhub go legit. It's like, yeah, check my Pornhub.
Every time someone's been like, "I follow this artist on OnlyFans," I immediately am like, "Oh, furry porn." I don't know what it is, just everything about it. And then I'm like, there's celebrities on there. Like somebody was, I can't remember who it was, but it was some fucking celebrity. I think my girlfriend was telling me about it. And I was like, whoa, they do porn now? And she was like, no, it's just like them like talking and stuff. I was like,
well, Rachel Dolezal has an OnlyFans now where she posts workout videos and fit pictures apparently.
She should do videos of her like braiding her hair and shit.
Does she tan her feet too, or is that the one like part she lets be white?
I wonder if she does her own cornrows or if she gets them done.
Well, she's swole now. I don't know if you've seen her.
And if
she's like,
if
built.
The black lady who does her hair just thinks she's like a Make-A-Wish Foundation kind of case.
She's like,
is she roiding up?
Hold on, let me see if I can. Can I share a picture here?
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, hold on. She's like, she has like workout videos and shit now, and that's supposed to be what her OnlyFans is. But if you read the description, it's like, oh, workout videos and recipes and blah blah, and then at the bottom is like and foot pictures. So that's
there's the clincher.
That's where it is. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here.
What was that? That was one of the ones I kept seeing a bunch of with that fucking most controversial wood. A bunch of people were fucking retweeting that with Rachel Dolezal, or the YouTube shooter, whose name I can never remember. That big titty chick that had like weird dancing videos.
Oh yeah, I just sent it to you on Twitter, Spencer, because I don't know how to do this thing.
Oh. Oh my god. Is she still technically being black? Being John Malkovich-ing it?
Is she still kayfabing it?
Yeah. She kind of just looks like a Midwestern mom now.
Yeah.
Justice for Rachel Dolezal. Yeah, good for her. Finding her way in life.
But
I wonder, be a mom on Saved by the Bell.
Would that qualify as like interracial porn if she's the one doing the porn?
Yeah,
because it's like
I'm just
black or.
I'm scared she's gonna get really swole and just start using that as the justification for her to like really tan up.
Well, like a physical culturist guy.
Yeah,
she's just doing it so she can audition for Black Panther 2.
She's gonna start doing female bodybuilding. That would be a great turn for fucking Marvel. Replace Chadwick Boseman with Rachel Dolezal for
we're keeping our tradition of diversity, so we want to keep Black Panther, diverse. So here is Rachel Dolezal.
We're making a woman. I honestly don't think anybody would complain about that. I think people would be laughing too hard. Be like, I'm fully on board
the theater. Like, what do we do? Do we applaud? I don't know.
Just call it Black Panther with a question mark on the end. And it's perfect.
Black question mark Panther. What?
Yeah. Oh, this is the second one. It's like the Suicide Squad. Did you watch that yet, Hans?
Yeah. I didn't like it. I was very unimpressed by it.
Not enough Rachel Dolezal in it.
I watched it with my girlfriend who has like a more normie taste. I guess she's not as picky as me, and even her, she was like, "This is fucking stupid." Like none of the jokes landed with me. I don't know. The action felt like at times it looked good, but at other times it just looked like it's a green screen with people in it. Like that, there's nothing to it, and I felt like they were trying to do Guardians of the Galaxy again, but with no heart. Because I feel like at least the first one has a lot of heart.
Oh,
and
yeah.
This one just felt like, well, we're just gonna try to do that again. But hey, Idris Elba is this criminal that loves his daughter and really cares about what his daughter thinks of him.
But like, at the beginning, I actually thought his character was more interesting, where they played the whole like he might love his daughter, but he realizes he's such a piece of shit. He needs to get her as like far away from him as possible, sort of thing. And they play that up like he's still not a good father figure, where he's basically a one-to-one replacement for Will Smith. And in the first one, that's what I hated about Will Smith, is that like he's supposed to be the greatest assassin in the fucking universe, and also he happens to just be like a great dad who keeps getting
an assassin with a heart of gold.
Yeah, and I was like, that's so fucking lame. Like Suicide Squad is literally supposed to be a bunch of pieces of shit brought together to fucking do really dangerous shit. And I really thought this time, because like the first like 30 minutes does a good job of setting that up, where like all these people are kind of cunts and like you wouldn't want to have a team of them together. And then it immediately, me and Jeff talked about this a bunch, but it flips, and then all of a sudden it's trying to justify everybody like, oh no, we can be heroes. And the ones that I did want to see more from, like weirdly, I thought there was going to be like a Frankenstein's monster angle to King Shark, and
just Groot. He's just Groot.
Yeah, he's That's just Groot, and the like literalness of Drax like mashed into one character.
really barely in it, with barely any scenes that are anything.
You see,
like Groot at least has a few moments where you're like, he's a real character and he has something that's actually important to the story. And King Shark is just like there. He doesn't really do anything.
And we're about to get an entire mini series with John Cena as Peacemaker on HBO Max.
All in Mandarin.
Yeah, great.
It's gonna be just English and Chinese subtitles.
Well, that's the thing, that the beginning, when they pretended to kill Flag and Harley, I was like, okay, so they were brave enough to kill the most popular character of the entire cast, which is Harley Quinn, and then apparently she survived that explosion that just happened right next to her, and I was like, all right, this is just fucking bullshit then. Like what I thought they were going to do, which was just kill every character from the first one, and just start new and use that as like a cover, which was the plot at the beginning. They weren't brave enough to get rid of that character, so then it's just like, then why do that thing at the beginning? And then also when Harley cared about children, and just like, why? When he fucks the Colombian guy or whatever he is, and then he's like, well, you kill children or whatever, so she kills him. It's just like, who is this character? This is not the Harley Quinn that everyone knows.
My girlfriend
and they justify all her stuff.
Yeah,
my girlfriend thought it was like really accurate to one of the comics, and I had read it because after that opening like scene with the first squad, like A Squad or whatever the fuck they call them, I was like, oh, so Harley, Flag still alive, and I straight up said to her, I was like, the fucking weasel is gonna wake up at the end and just like run away. It's gonna be like the James Gunn cheeky joke at the end, and that's exactly how the movie fucking ends. He coughs up water because I was like, he drowns in like the dumbest way, and the only real good payoff in that scene is the fucking Pete Davidson kill. Like, and that felt like, I'm sure it was just a scheduling thing where they couldn't get him for more than a day or two. But I like to think there was something smart about it, and it was a conscious effort. Like, Gunn sees how much people fucking dislike that dude, and they were like, oh, this will be a cathartic kill. Like, throw him in just getting blasted, and they make him an absolute dickhead. So I was like, that's a solid idea, but it's all just mashed together really quickly. There's no room for anything to breathe in the scene. Like,
but you don't really know what he's doing either. Like, at first, you don't really get that he's trying to set them up, or he's trying to.
Yeah, because there's so much happening all at once. He says the line really quick, and there's a bunch of other like ambient audio going on. That's what I mean. Was that whole scene like would have? There was a lot of stuff in it where I was like, damn. It again suffers from this like first draft syndrome where it feels like if one more person put one more pass at it, it could have actually been decent. And it's just scattered and all over the place. That's why I really think like Suicide Squad should just be like an HBO Max series, do like hour and 20-minute episodes and get like a different like new director on each time and just let them pick like a weird cast of fucking villains. And it's like, okay, here's the new squad. They're going out for this kind of mission. And, it's not a kaiju every time, or I can't even remember what the fuck they were fighting in the first one.
It was Enchantress and her brother.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. And it's like weird, like husk people.
Yeah. My favorite part of the first one is when they're doing all the introductory stuff and they get to Harley Quinn and you hear this dialogue over the action taking place where, Batman's chasing them in a car chase. And Amanda Waller is like, Harley Quinn, she's more fearless than the Joker and twice as crazy. But while that's happening, you see the Joker is getting ready to drive the car off of a dock. And he's laughing the whole time, and she's petrified and pissing herself. And I know it wasn't like an in joke because it was all the shit with their terrible editing that they had to redo and everything. So like they're telling you this character is a badass, but what they're showing you is the exact opposite.
Yeah.
And from that moment on, I was like, yeah, she's a terrible character. She's gonna suck. I just can tell.
I think the only James Gunn movie I can think of off the top of my head that I really like is Slither.
Slither is great. Yeah. What about the Scooby-Doo movies? Do you know?
He did those?
Well, he wrote those. I don't know if he directed them, but he wrote them.
Those are weirdly really accurate, and those were like Like, I enjoyed those when those came out. I think my
Yeah.
girlfriend owns both of them. I know she really likes them. I haven't seen them in years, but I remember those being like surprisingly really good. I didn't know he wrote those, but yeah, a lot of his stuff is just fucking all.
Oh, yeah, super.
Even Slither is
Super.
like all over the place in a lot of parts. Like it and it's always like a pacing thing. That's why the thing I'm working on, I told you earlier, was like there's not a lot of dialogue, but there's a lot of like not action, but things happening in it. So there's like a lot going on that can be built out in the performance. And one of the biggest thing I hate in new movies is that fucking things aren't given time to breathe. Like they're like, oh, we'll do fucking, 30, 40 takes of this, but they're all going to be quick little takes. We're not going to fucking actually let it roll out and fucking see where it goes. I'm not saying pad the fuck out of everything, but everything being quick cuts and stupid bullshit drives me nuts. And like that Suicide Squad, I think a lot of the jokes would have landed better if there was more time for it to breathe, and it's just jumping through everything really quick. That I get they're going for like the comic booky feel, like that immediate opening where they're walking through the prison with Savant. That wasn't like terrible, but it had the same thing that the first Suicide Squad movie had, where it instantly felt like a mid-90s mid-budget action movie. The first one blew my mind with the fucking like scroll cards of everybody's like stats and shit, like a trading card. That's like the first 2 minutes of the movie, and I was already checking out on the first one. And I like David Ayer's stuff, like his cop dramas and shit. I've always enjoyed.
I feel like someone whose career has not gone as you would expect, because his first couple of movies are great. What is it called? Something Watch, the one with the cops.
End of Watch.
What's that one called?
Yeah. End of
That
Watch.
one's great. I really like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, his cop ones are all fucking rad.
But then I don't know if you saw the Tax Collector. That was
I couldn't get through that one. He also did Sabotage with
with freedom loving Arnold.
And his biggest one is Training Day. Training Day is what like blew him up, and that's my whole thing was Hard Times, End of Watch, and Training Day. I always considered like his cop trilogy. And I know dudes that are like crazy into film that like either haven't seen any of those movies or have seen like one of them and don't even really like know of Ayer's stuff. Like I saw so many people shit on him and be like, this guy's a garbage director, and talk like he had never done anything. And he like Training Day is a fucking amazing movie. He wrote the screenplay for U571 and helped on the first Fast and the Furious as well.
Fury is pretty good too.
Yeah, Fury's fantastic, and I think that's like Shia LaBeouf nutcase, but that's one of his best performances.
Well, he's great. He's one of those. Me and Lores always talk about this.
I would kill to get him in something. He is a nut.
These imperfect actors, where they're like, they're not the perfect human being outside of the movie, which just makes them a more interesting actor.
Yeah.
And he's one of those where whatever project that he chooses, it's always kind of wacky, and he always goes all in. Like, well, in the Tax Collector, he got a fucking chest tattoo for that piece of shit movie. But he's someone that who's Abel Ferrara is bringing back for his next movie, and a lot of people were complaining on Twitter about it because he beat some woman up or something, which is like how I can relate to that, like sometimes you just want to punch a woman, but but then it's like people are complaining about Abel fucking Ferrara hiring him in one of his movies. Like, you don't know who Abel Ferrara is, so it makes sense that he will be in one of his movies.
Oh,
but
do you think he has the potential? Do you think he has the potential to be a Nicolas Cage, or do you think he's going to be like a Sean Penn, where he's so crazy that he doesn't really put many movies out, and it's kind of forgotten?
I think.
Yeah, do you think he'll go full retard in his late 30s?
Just I am Sam it up. Well, he's done that in Even Stevens, right? Didn't he play like a retarded brother? early in his career.
Was that the role?
Immediately, Sean Penn.
That's Shia. Yeah. But I don't know. I hate Sean Penn because he's one of those actors that believe that they're more important than they actually are.
Got a god
so
complex.
that shit fucking pisses me off because it's just like you were just literally reading someone else's words and pretending to be someone else. Shut the fuck up. But Shia is someone that kind of fell into that when Trump won with that what was it? He will not divide us shit or whatever.
He will not divide us.
Yeah, but then he's just an interesting actor. Like he's just someone that goes all in, and I feel like all of these sanitized actors now, where their Twitter account is perfect and like they've never done anything wrong, and it's like the same Chalamet type of guys, where it's just like fucking who cares? Like you're boring. Like you have nothing interesting about yourself. Someone like Vince Gallo. I find that to be way more interesting to watch just perform than I don't know, like
I can't take Chalamet seriously in movies because he's like a dead ringer for the drummer of my old band, who I used to like get drunk with and smoke weed with all the time, and like I just every time I see him in a movie, like everybody was like, "Call Me by Your Name, great movie, you should see it. You like movies," and I was like, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like watching my buddy Dennis fuck Army Hammer a bunch.
Isn't that the one where the older man seduces a child to fuck?
Yeah.
In
I don't
Italy.
know about seeing my buddy get molested for an hour and a half.
They go to Italy, so it's fine. It's approved there.
It's all okay.
It's not a problem. Yeah. They're just Italian. It's not creepy. Yeah.
Drunkenly asking my buddy, like, so what was it like banging Army Hammer in Italy?
After you watch the movie, you get to sign a petition to bring back Roman Polanski.
Where Army Hammer is done, right? After those messages that came out where he saw the girl that he wanted to eat her or whatever. Yeah, he's done. I don't know if he's coming back anytime soon, but yeah,
dude, Shia Gallo,
he's got a powerful family though. He's got a powerful family. That's another crazy
dude. Dude, how did Vincent Gallo not get hit up to play fucking Manson in fucking Tarantino's movie?
Because he probably wouldn't take it. He's nuts.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think he would like to be in like a mainstream movie like that. He's such a interesting character. I don't know if you guys.
Well, I bet they probably hate each other too, though.
Because
they're both like the artists, like the artist filmmakers. Like they probably just despise each other because they see so much of themselves in one another.
Do you guys follow his Instagram at all? Where he just posts pictures of like Democratic politicians with like statements on top of it. He would sell like one-of-a-kind T-shirts with Obama's picture, and then just have something like a word, like I don't know, like war criminal or something like that, and he would just sell a T-shirt for like $500.
Dude,
yeah, he's nuts. He's great.
It's quality stuff.
Isn't he like? I saw an interview with him where he said like he said he's like an old school conservative or something, like a Johnny Unitas conservative, and I was like, I don't know if that's like his character or if he's for real, but I believe both. I could see either one of those being true with him.
He looks like a human cigarette now. I love it. These are the kind of ugly people I want.
He's making a comeback. There's rumors of him.
Yeah, he's ugly beautiful, man. I hope he makes a comeback.
What was his last movie?
I think it was Tetsuo, wasn't it? With Francis Ford Coppola that we were talking about earlier.
But like, what about like directorial film?
Oh no, I think he just made like apparently he directs his own movies that nobody watches. He just does.
Human Trust in 2013 he acted in, and then he still directs shorts.
But apparently the thing is that he still has like little movies that he makes, but it's just for himself. Like he doesn't want to release them to the public. But sorry, Tetsuo.
More blowjob movies.
Tetsuo is like
more blowjob.
Tetsuo is something completely different. Tetsuo is the movie that I was thinking about.
I was gonna say Tetsuo, like was it the Iron Man or whatever the fuck? Like, it's like I haven't seen that in ages, but it's like I didn't know that was Vincent Gallo joint. Goddamn.
It's just Vincent Gallo doing this the whole time.
It's like, is he just doing meth with that Japanese dude? Like,
no, Tetsuo, where he plays like a torture writer that lives in Argentina or some shit, which is great. It's actually a pretty good movie, but he doesn't really. I don't know. I feel like he's very much non-Hollywood type of person. So you need to be a specific type of director to hire him to do his thing, because you know that, well, he's not going to do any promotion for it. He's not going to sit and do like a press packet with the fucking Empire magazine or whatever. You know, he's not going to help you sell the movie.
Unless he can put it on a t-shirt and sell it for hundreds of dollars.
But he's such an interesting actor and such an interesting character that like it's in that same category of like Shia, where it's like someone that you wouldn't expect from his career, especially because I feel like Shia tried to go mainstream with like the whole Indiana Jones thing, but he's kind of fucked up in the head. So then I think after that he did the Nymphomaniac movies where he showed his dick or someone else's dick. And then it's just
I thought you said he showed his dick to someone else's dick.
Or someone else's dick. I don't know if it was his dick, but yeah.
It's like we're not going to look at each other's dicks. Our dicks are going to look at each other.
but I would
don't make this gay.
I would prefer to work with someone that's interesting and kooky like that than like a very sanitized,
real Tom
very
Arnold
normie person.
Like a Crispin Glover.
Yeah, 100%. Like
Crispin Glover's fucking nuts now, isn't he? I mean, he was always weird, but
I don't know if I told the story on here, but I went and saw at the Alamo. He was touring one of those movies he had produced. There was that movie series. Shit, what was it called? It was like The Thing Is or something like that. But it was like this disabled guy who had made these films, and he has actual sex in the movie. And it was like a trilogy, and he was touring around the country, and Crispin Glover was there presenting the movie, and he speaks beforehand, like there's a little statement before the movie plays. But we were sitting there like in the front row, and there's this little stage in front of the screen, and it's like maybe 6 feet, wide, and then like maybe 2 feet high off the ground, and everybody's piling in, and it's like 20 minutes. We're all like piling in, and 30 minutes later, and we're all waiting for him to come out. And all of a sudden, he crawls out from underneath this little platform that was the stage. And he'd been waiting there for like 2 hours before anybody even got there. Just in the prone position, waiting for his moment. And he just crawls out, steps on top of the stage, and then he reads from a book. And he has these books. What he does is he goes to like used bookstores, and he gets a book, and then he just starts sharpieing out a bunch of the words randomly. And then he'll read all the words that aren't sharpied out.
Well, that's another one that I feel like, I don't know if he tried or they tried to make him mainstream a little bit, because I remember he was in Charlie's Angels. He was in one of those, if it wasn't a scary movie, it was one of those movies from around that time, like Epic Movie, or he played Willy Wonka in one of them. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then it's just like he's such a weirdo that, he's not going to be able to make it as like a mainstream figure. So someone like that, I don't know. I feel like they might be more difficult to work with on set, but then the performance that you get from someone like that, I feel like it's always better than someone that's just a company, like a Disney actor or like a like a Tom Holland or like someone like that.
I need ugly, washed up people desperate for work.
Yeah,
Did you see the
exact
behind the
opposite
scenes
of a
stuff
Disney actor.
Did you see the behind the scenes stuff for Back to the Future on Netflix? Talking about how they produced the movie, and they talk about Crispin Glover's experience. And they basically said like
asshole on set.
Well, no, and not even an asshole. He's just a weird guy. Like they would say, okay, in this
that's
scene,
like asshole mode when you're producing a movie and you're literally not hitting your marks on purpose. Like it's just
he would just walk off
dickhead.
set. And they had to build a little cage for him to stand in, like a little chicken cage.
Yeah, he refused to walk on marks. He was like, no, I think my character would walk up the stairs backwards. And like one day he was like, my character wouldn't open this door. They were like, well, guess what? Your character needs to go into this fucking diner, so you better open this door.
Scene. The whole scene is you going in here and talking to people.
My God.
Like, I wouldn't do that.
No, that dude's an asshole, and that's why that's the kind of reasons he didn't get work. And I was like, I think he's just like a high functioning autist or something.
Yeah.
Like,
100% that reminds me of that Jim Carrey documentary.
I mean, he did Willard. I remember liking that.
the Man on the Moon one, where it's like, whoa, no, he's an artist. You know, he's going into like his own thing to be. He's just a fucking asshole that thinks
Yeah,
too
he's a
highly of
piece of
himself.
shit.
Yeah,
Like to go to the guy's daughter and pretend to be her dead dad. That's the sickest shit I've ever heard. Like what
yeah.
and like what's funny too in that documentary when Jerry Lawler's talking about it, and he was like, he's coming up to me like wanting to fight me and causing this whole scene. It's like, I was friends with Andy Kaufman. Like we were in
Yeah.
it together, and you're treating it like I'm a real enemy. Like you don't even know what you're talking about. It's like he wanted to be this guy, but he didn't really understand Andy Kaufman as a person. Like he just only knew him as that character, and
Oh,
he
you
couldn't
guys
like
are gonna
understand that
hate me in
Andy
like
Kaufman was a
2
normal dude.
years. 2 years down the road with the podcast, when everything's just a bit and I can't distinguish reality from the stupid bullshit we do on the internet. Oh man. I start wearing gay suits and threatening to punch you in public.
Do that
That's
now.
when you know I'm off the deep end. That's where I'm at now. I'm gonna step away and get another beverage real quick, but I'm gonna keep going if you guys are
Yeah.
still around.
I'm good.
Yeah, I need to grab another drink and fucking piss really quick.
Yeah,
And he'll be gone for an hour.
this Jim Carrey character that now is like an artist, and now he does like anti-Trump paintings and his politics, and it's just like, you're a guy that got famous by literally talking out of your ass as Ace Ventura. You would move your butt cheeks to pretend it's your mouth. That was your bit, and now you're trying to like lecture us with this bullshit. It's just Hollywood.
The thing with him, like to me, like I talked about this with a buddy of mine once, where like he's obviously very talented as a comedian. Like he's a very funny guy, and he's great with his gestures and pratfalls and all that kind of stuff. But he wants to be something he's not. He's that big broad comedian, and like a Jerry Lewis, but he wants to be the Andy Kaufman or the Sacha Baron Cohen,
Right.
who's avant-garde and pushing boundaries and is really crazy and messing with people, but he doesn't know how to do it, because all he knows how to do is like fart jokes and crazy faces and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, his early when he Living Color career was pretty much that. Just his weird body moving in weird ways, and that's the joke. Or his face making faces, or playing that like that muscular woman, or the what's his name? Fire
Marshal Bill.
Yeah. Where it's like, okay, it's funny for the time. I don't know if that would work now. Probably not. But I don't understand when he started believing in his own bullshit so much. Maybe when he started doing these serious films, right? Like Eternal Sunshine and what's the other one? Number 23, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Where he tried to become like a serious actor, and he's like, this is not. I mean, Eternal Sunshine is good, but this is not why people come to your movies. We want to see the wacky Jim Carrey with the weird hair, or the yellow suit and being goofy as the Mask, or not lecturing us about how we're supposed to think, and look at this painting of this, I don't know, political statement that you're trying to make. It's like, what the fuck is this?
I mean, of all the things, like of all the people, it's like a Canadian comedian is going to tell Americans how to live their life.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like that's the thing that I hate about the whole Hollywood success type of thing, where it's like you're known for one thing. I'm not saying stick to your lane and not try anything new, but once you start believing that your farts don't stink, it's kind of like, all right, it's time for someone to tell you to shut the fuck up, because this is not why we're here to see you.
Right. And they also start to believe that they're the characters they're portraying. Like, you're just repeating lines that you read. Like Robert De Niro, great actor, fucking dumbass though in real life. Like, he doesn't know how to put two sentences together.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't want to hear you talk if no one's writing the thing that you were saying. If it's coming from you, I'm good. This is not why I like you. I like it when a person that knows how to writes your dialogue. Otherwise, it's just you're just a mook from New York, like an Italian. Is he? I don't even know if he's even from New York. Just an old Italian guy that.
Well, he is. He's his dad is a famous painter. He's like been a millionaire his whole life. But he presents himself as like, oh, I'm from the streets. I play stickball. Hey.
Yeah. Just a regular guy from the I don't know, the Bronx. Just an Italian retard from New York. And he's like, that's you've never been that guy. Yeah. I'm so sick of that shit. Like, I feel like that's why we're trying to and I hate saying this word, like counter culture or like counter that shit, because I feel like that's so played out, but at the same time it seems to be like the most successful things for most people are still falling into that type of thing where something has to be preachy or like has to have a message of one type of political alliance to try to say something. It's just, what about a movie that's just fun by itself without having to say anything, like I feel like that's been lost a lot, and even though there's a lot of independent movies now more than ever because the equipment is so much cheaper and easier to get, but at the same time, like that has only gotten worse, and every remake and every reimagination of old properties that are nothing like they were supposed to be, it's just like, why are you guys like you guys either ran out of ideas or are trying to reconquer the magic that those movies had, but it doesn't work at all anymore. Like, I can't think of the last remake that I actually enjoyed where I was like, all right, well, they're doing something new that actually works, instead of just, we're just going to revive this and try to apply the politics of the day, and that's what's going to make it successful, and it never really works.
Yeah, and like, right now the Spider-Man trailer just came out, and it looks great. I do think it looks fun, but at the same time, it's like, but what's really happening here? We're just going back to the well of, hey, remember Tobey Maguire Spider-Man? Remember Andrew Garfield Spider-Man? Like, that's pretty much the basis of the films now. It's just, remember that thing? It's member berries is still going on,
And you would think that when someone or something as successful as South Park that made that member berries thing became like a meme and everything, you would think that they would realize that maybe this is not the way that we should go, but that's all media now. Any type of remake or reboot is just, hey, we're not going to come up with any type of original idea with these characters. We're just going to try to do the thing that worked 20, 30 years ago. Hopefully will work this time. And times changed. The comedy's not the same. I don't know. Have you seen one of the worst things I've seen recently, like the Black Christmas remake? I don't know if you saw that.
Oh yeah, that and the Wrong Turn remake are garbage.
Oh my fucking god! Because the Black Christmas original from like '78, I think it is. It's a low budget. Like you can tell the equipment they had was not the best. You can tell that a lot of the.
Doesn't that one have like a really fucking solid political like point to it? Isn't that the whole like anti-abortion one?
I don't. No, I don't. I just remember like a creep hiding in their attic.
I'm pretty sure that one's like woke before it like woke was a thing. Like I think the main chick is like she's like worried she might be pregnant, and her boyfriend is like trying to push her to have an abortion at the beginning, and it's like super overt, but like that was
sleepaway camp.
That was a huge point of it, and it's like what makes you think on the first watch that it's the fucking boyfriend killing everybody,
right? And then you watch the new one, and it's just like, hey, girl power, and girls are awesome, and we're girl, and it's just like, why don't use the name? Just
there was like a mid-2000s remake too that wasn't even that fucking terrible, and that didn't need to get done. That's what it was. She wanted to get an abortion, so it was like about female agency and shit like that. It was kind of like breaking free from your toxically masculine boyfriend and doing your own thing.
This movie's not for you. Why didn't you show up to watch the movie?
Yeah. And they didn't even say that kind of shit back then. They wanted people to see it, but people were outraged. That's the kind of shit I miss, is like, I want movies to just stand as an art piece on their own again. I'm sick of this. Like, I don't mind some mainstream movies too, but it's like it's the movies that aren't fucking online, like Marvel telling comic book and CBR.com and all these things, like what happened off screen in the movies that you didn't get to see, and how you should feel about all these different scenes and how you're supposed to feel. I was like, remember when a movie, I think that's why Pig hit me so hard, was like Pig weirdly just like ran parallel with a lot of my own personal life and just like hit me in a weird way. And it was a movie that doesn't spell fucking anything out for you. It's purely held up by its performances and its writing and the cinematography. Like, it was a beautiful experience, even if you just watch it once. But it's like, there's not a lot of shit like that I can think of off the top of my head that's coming out. Like, and that, like, I look back at the 70s, one of my favorite eras for film, and it's like pretty much every year is a fucking banger. Like, even the 80s, because I'm just a cornball for shitty fucking horror movies. It's like, I would take a bunch of absolutely ball sack horror movies that just have like in-frame prosthetics again all day. Like, I don't care if it's a million guys in rubber suits like Psycho Gorman like last year or the year before. I'll take that any day of the week over the fucking like shiny, polished CGI bullshit we get nowadays. Like, fucking, especially with the resources we have now. Like, a lot of the shit I learned to do growing up in mask making and stuff, I learned from just watching those featurettes and shit on different movies, like all the things you could watch on Carpenter's The Thing back in the day. How they shot that miniature shot with the dog model and all that. Is like, if you really want to do it, especially if you're smart about it, you use that method of like, oh, you don't show it for too long. That's why no one remembers there's a miniature shot in The Thing. Is it's like maybe like a 5-second shot, and it's split across like 2 shots cut together with actual shots of the room. And I think they just did it because they wanted to do some insert shots after the fact. Give us 2 minutes on Evil Dead 2. Yeah, it's like, where are all the fucking people making, like, even indie horror movies now? It's insane to me that like guys will get together a budget of like $50,000 and they go out of the woods, or they go out in the woods and just like splatter some ketchup on each other, shoot a fucking dark ass movie where you can't see shit and it's just people talking for like 90 minutes. Nine times out of 10, it's like 83 minutes. They can't even hit the 90-minute mark, and it's like, Is there a better performance than Bruce Campbell in Evil Dead 2 when it comes to physical comedy? Because that's why I'm so not excited about everything Evil Dead that's coming out with his, I guess it's his daughter's story now. Yeah. And it's just like the magic that second movie has, where you can still watch it and still laugh at how physical he is when he's fighting his own fucking hand. Just him by himself, and his facial expressions. You don't see that type of acting anymore, and I can't think of any other performance that's that type of physical comedy in a creepy movie. He's like a dude I would be like the fucking like fluffer on a production just to like be in the room with him. Like, on any, it was like, does this movie need a janitor? Like, just to like pick his brain for even 30 seconds. Our editor, Kayla, has actually met him a couple of times. And early on, when I was like trying to get this slasher comic book off the ground, I started talking to some people and was like, oh, I might be able to just write this as a screenplay and get it out that way. And then I met fucking Derek Mears at a Comic-Con, and he basically gave me all of his manager's information because I showed him like some concept art and shit and some of the writing I was working on, and he loved it and was basically like, if this gets turned into a film, I wanna be the guy in the costume. And I was like, fuck yeah. It didn't end up going anywhere, but one of the things that came from it was he invited me up to hang out with him and Bruce Campbell at a horror convention in, I think, like Jersey. I wasn't able to fucking make it because I was stuck at fucking work all weekend, but I was like, God damn it.
Fuck.
Yeah. You know what always was weird to me
COVID hit, and I haven't done anything since.
What's weird to me is that, like, you know, Sam Raimi and the Coen brothers are super close, like they're best buds, and they've had like, you know, Sam Raimi has had like a cameo of Miller's Crossing, and Bruce Campbell's had cameos and some other stuff too. But why was I was wonder like why he wasn't actually cast in more Coen Brothers films, because like his personality is so perfect for their movies, and like
Yeah.
Oh Brother Where Art Thou, Homer is basically just Bruce Campbell. George Clooney's basically doing like a Bruce Campbell impersonation almost, but with a Southern accent.
Dude,
Like he'd be
fucking
perfect in that
Maniac
movie.
Cop.
Fuck yeah. Or Briscoe. Oh, you guys ever seen the Adventures of Briscoe County Jr.?
Not
Where
in
he's a
a
cowboy?
very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I have not seen that since I was a kid.
He's one of my favorite actors. He just never got that recognition. I don't know why, because he's very like he can play a serious guy, and he has like a very comedic timing, very good comedic timing, as you can say. And he's physical comedy is great. That's one of the reasons why I love Burn Notice, because he's great in that. He's just like an old fat guy, and
he even kills it in the new series. If you haven't, like, he is the reason to watch that TV series. Like, even in the emotional moments, he holds it up. It was like, this dude has had range all along, and he was just overlooked for a really fucking long time.
I think it's because of like in the 80s, there was all
me.
that discrimination against like like I'm talking about like just not discrimination like in any crazy sense, but just like he's a horror movie star, he's a silly guy, we can't make him the lead star of these movies. Yeah, he's a B movie guy, he's not going to be our star. But if like the Coen brothers had cast him in like Raising Arizona or any one of those early movies, like I think it would have changed everything for him.
Yeah.
Lustig said when they like brought him in to read for Maniac Cop originally, he was like more serious than they were going for. Like he could do that. He just kind of got typecast as what he was and ran with that because that's where he could get work. But he never really
the looks and everything too.
Well, he's talked about it. He never really had that like breakout role where he like actually became a huge star. Like Evil Dead is huge, but it's still like it's a cult classic sort of thing, and it's huge now and he's loved, but it's not like when Evil Dead got rebooted, it's not like everybody flocked there to see it again or anything like that. Oh yeah, you got a bounce, boy?
Yeah,
it's I gotta go, man.
It's my girlfriend's birthday.
Thanks for coming on, man. It was fun.
Yes, thank you for coming on again.
Anytime, boys. I'll talk to you guys later.
Hell yeah. Take it easy, buddy.
Later, dude.
Bringing up Burn Notice. It's like I'm shocked. From what I've seen of that show, I enjoyed it. I just don't fucking watch TV like that.
It's a good show, and that main guy on the show is great. He's great in everything.
Yeah, he was like in Sicario, I think. Right? That was it.
He's a good actor.
One of the spooks. Yeah, he's solid. I can't remember his name for some reason. Jeffrey something, I want to say.
I have no idea what his name is, but every time I see him in a movie, I'm like, oh, it's the Burn Notice guy. He's awesome.
I'm trying to think of modern actors that are ugly as shit and still working today.
But you know what? I would say he's not a classically handsome guy either. Like, he's the kind of guy who
looks like a face painted on a football.
Yeah, like he's handsome in certain angles, but he's basically just like an old school 70s kind of handsome actor, where he's not really handsome.
He's got that tiny, squinty face syndrome, like all of his features are pinched in really close together, like a Dick Tracy villain. Little face. Little face Capote. He's a tiny little weird guy. But
like Walter Goggins in a
Adam
movie.
Driver's weird looking, but I'm sure Adam Driver isn't working for a day rate and is fucking wildly expensive right now.
He has a movie out with Leo Carax.
I haven't announced who the dude is we're talking to about the lead, but it's looking more and more like might be teaming up with the Headshot dudes and producing a movie next year. And maybe not selling it unless this studio wants to give us a bunch of money to make it ourselves. We may have found a lead and some other people. And it'd be really easy to sort of shoot in pieces if we can't find the funding to shoot it all in one big go.
It's just me, and I'm just nude the entire movie.
Yeah, I haven't announced
it yet over
because I want to announce it on the Patreon with with the test photos we're doing and stuff like that. And then I'll be going to visit them most likely in October to shoot some footage, some digital footage, and then possibly some 8 or some 16 millimeter to see how it'll look. Want to start nailing in the grain look and everything, because if I can also shoot something on film, I want to do that like a wild man on the first movie I do. We're going to make something really gritty and pissed off. And basically one of my biggest inspirations is, I mean, The Thing is definitely one of them, just for like doing real effects on screen and everything. And then the big one is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I want to do just something violent and uncomfortable that feels squishy and grimy and real.
With girl power, and we're going to cast Rachel Dolezal for diversity.
Pussy power. It's gonna be gross. It's gonna be a lot of fun too. I'm gonna get the headshot dudes to do some really fucking grisly shit if they come on board for it. Like, hey, you guys want to learn how to blow up heads and things like that? Figure out all new creative ways to just destroy the human form. We got dominatrix and all sorts of weird shit. Although I'm trying to get as far away from fucking it feeling like a Rob Zombie property as possible, and fucking so far everyone I talk to is like, oh, it sounds like early Rob Zombie, and that's pretty rad. And I'm like, God damn it.
No, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I don't want to be perceived as that dude.
And you start slowly transforming into Rob Zombie, like you start growing dreadlocks.
Yeah, I'm just stop washing my hair and let it all lock together like a hobo.
Radioactive Rob Zombie bit me, and now I'm making shitty movies.
Start yelling, "Get your boots on" at everybody all the time. Dude, I wish we could license some of his fucking ridiculous music. I remember 31's kind of like I wouldn't say an influence on the movie. It kind of inspired it in a way that he crowdfunded 31. I don't know if you saw that one.
Not yet, no.
I think it's.
But I'm waiting with bated breath.
Yeah, I think it's on like Amazon or something now. It's been out for a while.
It's everywhere. It's like on Tubi and Pluto and everything.
So, he crowdfunded that originally, and he got fucking Bisley and a couple other guys, a couple other British guys to do art for it. Why I can't remember now. Is it J Photos?
I like Rob Zombie. Like, his movies are kind of iffy, but like I think he's a good dude.
Mickey Rourke is the ugliest
that's what makes it sad.
I think of. I think he's available too. Yeah, no, the Headshot dudes actually, I think they covered one of his movies on a new episode, Nightwalk, which made me think like, oh yeah, that guy's day rate's got to be dog shit now. But he'd be good for. There's a director and a producer role in this script. And I need like older guys in it that can also play sort of like clean cut, greasy businessman, Texas tycoon sort of vibe. Mickey Rourke would be fucking insane. Eric Roberts was another guy we had in mind. And then I remember Clint Howard sort of talks about on Last Drive-In. He was on one of the more recent episodes, and he talked about how he just loves being in movies, and he'll work for like a day rate and shit like that. It'd be pretty wild to get him in on a bit part. And again,
that with Mickey Rourke and Shia LaBeouf and Sean Penn.
Just get a bunch of fucking washed up, disgraced fucking weirdo actors in this movie.
Just the crazy people you can find.
And then the lead is just an absolute no-name. We got a guy, a character, the Fat Elvis Killer, who is literally a character I came up with in a short story I wrote years ago that no one ever read. And he's basically like a nutcase serial killer who existed in this world where there was a Fat Elvis Killer and a killer Fat Elvis. Essentially like hunting each other down. The Fat Elvis Killer, though, is a guy who believes he is like the reincarnation of Elvis and is basically going around strangling Fat Elvis impersonators to death for besmirching his name. Tom Sizemore, you can pay him in just blow. I don't know about having Tom Sizemore any near anything of value. He'd
Like
be
children.
yeah, or children, right? He'd be wild. We just have him on to get killed in the. He'd be good for. There's an early death. People just be like, "Is that fucking Tom Sizemore?" And then he's gone. Or I could get him for the pedo cannibal character. That'd be spot on.
Michael Madsen.
Dude.
Who? How is Michael Madsen now like the more stable Tom Sizemore?
How fucking old is he now? 63.
But he looks 83.
Yeah, right? What does he look like now? Has anyone seen him alive?
The better question is, what does he sound like now?
Okay,
imagine his voice now.
If these are actually photos of him in 2021, he looks better than he has in like the last decade.
Oh, maybe the cigarettes and alcohol preserved his body.
Yeah, it's just like petrified wood. Although he's got like oh no, he looks like a potato. This looks more accurate than the other ones.
Well, like a russet or a golden potato.
No, you know who he looks like? Fucking oh god, why can't I remember his name? Pilato? God damn it. Fucking Rhodes. Yeah, Rhodes from Day of the Dead. Joe Pilato. Who passed away like a
yeah. He got real bloated in old age.
Yeah, he looks like fucking Joe Pilato now. Hang on a second.
Maybe Joe Pilato's just pretending to be Michael Madsen at shows to get more autograph signings and stuff.
Yeah. Or Madsen does that because Pilato's dead now. It's like, yeah, it was Rhodes in Dawn of the Dead. He signs
He's
Pilato.
collecting his life insurance policy.
Yeah, his booth says Michael Madsen / Joe Pilato.
He kind of looks like Nick Cage down there with the American flag.
Just because of the receding hairline.
Pretty much.
You could probably get him, but know what? He'd be crazy for the pedo cannibal guy. He's a little bit bigger now too. Although today fucking Jonah Hill was trending, and I was like, that would be fucking hysterical. Yo, Jonah Hill, you want to play a pedophile in a movie?
Michael Madsen was the fucking man in Pulp Fiction. Reservoir Dogs. He was the fucking man in that.
Oh, he's a great actor.
Can't take that away from him.
He was still solid in Kill Bill too. Yeah, right here.
He's the best part in Kill Bill too.
He's got no neck anymore.
Still got a good head of hair though.
2 years ago, he was charged with a DUI after SUV hits pole.
Better than Sizemore.
Wow, him with blonde hair is insane.
Oh, that's probably like his natural Irish hair right there.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember like other actors that I saw. Fucking Chad Michael Murray was just in like a Redbox movie recently.
Which one's that?
What?
Which one's he?
I think it's One Tree Hill on MTV. He was like one of those pretty boy actors. OC type of shit. Yeah, I didn't either. I just remember he was one of those like early 2000s three-name.
Oh yeah, Adam Warlock says the last thing he saw Madsen in was that Batman fan film where he played Bullock. I did see that.
Oh yeah, shit, I forgot about that. So yeah, he's probably wildly attainable. I feel like we have to look up like Asylum films to find actors who have fallen off the wagon.
Well, dude, after seeing that fucking space movie on Netflix with Bruce Willis and Frank Grillo, I think we can get them too.
Oh, dude.
Was it Cosmic Sin? I think we can get them now.
Bruce Willis is the director. We need you to totally phone it in. Yeah, man. Can you be a Texan? It's kind of sad that like Bruce Willis was a solid actor. It's pretty crazy that he just completely like threw it all away. It's like, whatever. People know I'm a dickhead now. I'm done with it. Like,
yeah, I mean, he's a legit good actor, and he's worked with like the best directors around. Like every decade he's been working, he's worked with the best. And now he's doing Cosmic Sin. It's sad.
What's his face? The ginger kid from A Christmas Story. He also played Titus's brother, I'm pretty sure, on Titus.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That ginger dude, and he was Nikolai in the Resident Evil movies.
How'd you pull that one out of your ass? Nikolai?
Yeah, right? That's his name, I think. He's a cheap boy now.
Hans says Google Mickey Rourke Nightwalk.
Yeah, that was the fucking movie. You guys just covered that, right? I was just saying that. I had like heard a little bit. I couldn't remember the name. I had heard a little bit about this, but the fucking like explanation for it, like the synopsis, was just jumbled bullshit. And then I saw the like press photos of Mickey Rourke and couldn't stop fucking laughing. Yeah, Mickey Rourke has like a windswept gray mullet, and he's got that.
He's wearing a suit of skin.
Yeah, he's got hot dog skin. Someone else's hot dog skin.
It looks like he's wearing the mask that Ryan Gosling wore in Drive. You know that bald face mask?
Yeah, big old swastika tattooed on his neck. Yeah, the real face mask that people started using for bank robberies left and right. Yeah, dude, this one has Eric Roberts in it too. That's what I'm saying. Like Eric Roberts is basically like he'd be perfect for the director or producer character. God damn, this is wacky. I didn't know he was in this too. He's one of the guys on my list.
He looks like he gets his skin from a real doll.
I feel like you can get him for a day rate because he was like wild with cocaine and like got hit with taxes and a bunch of shit and is now just doing whatever. Mickey Rourke shocks fans with awkward transformation on Good Morning Britain. God damn.
How can he be shocked anymore by anything he does?
He looks like an old porn star. It's hilarious. He really destroyed himself. Eric Roberts, though, great fucking actor.
Eric Roberts looks great.
Yeah, more recently in the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, man.
Hey, he's the best of the best, man.
I really can't think of like other ugly character actors.
Jackie Earl Haley.
He's a good one. He is really weird too.
Big boy, good actor.
Yes, Backstage is that fucking website I was talking about. Yeah, so I can even share this right now. Check this out. Talent database. You can cast just no-name people. We want not too old. We want all genders, male, gender non-conforming, non-binary. We want dudes. This is a predominantly
You're gonna
dude
do
cast.
Dudes, man? You're not gonna do non-binary?
Predominantly dudes cast. We'll go out of Boston. That's closer to me. 75 miles.
It's just all hookers. Oh, damn, it's the wrong page again.
Yeah. No, definitely back page still. Son of a bitch.
Wait, I can't tell the difference.
Used to have a thing where you check for fucking like has a headshot, but whatever. We'll apply. Select eye color. God damn. Producers and casting are fucking insane, man.
Who the fuck 7-Eleven? George Murison?
Yeah, so boom, now we got random dudes. These guys are all non-union. Some of them look like
the sex offender registry.
Yeah, isn't it great? Cast a bunch of mass holes for our movie. We're looking for a Danzig type.
Well, you should have made the height much shorter then.
Yeah, right. I just left the height range wide open. None of these dudes are striking me for anything so far, but
That guy in the middle looks like Billy. What's his Eilish? What the fuck is his name? Billy in the Street. Looks
yeah,
like
Billy Eichner.
a Billy Eichner. He looks like a fucking roided out Billy Eichner.
It's like Billie Eilish is that chick that does fucking rock music.
Oh, that's right.
Whoa!
Tane. What kind of name is Tane?
Yeah, I thought that guy's name was Taint at first. I was like, no way.
I was like signing up.
Yo, this guy C Note over here. That guy rocks.
Classic actor named C Note.
Yes. I gotta credit him like that in the film. The good thing is the guy we're looking at for the lead isn't super tall, so if we get people that are 6 feet tall or more, they'll look substantially bigger compared to him. A believable ass whooping.
Oh no, I just realized we just did a list. We're gonna be here all night.
Yes. Ha ha ha. How I get 3 more hours out of you. Oh, this guy could be a Danziggy type if we can get him to darken his hair. 6'2", never mind. God damn it.
It looks like he's in a black metal band, though.
Whoa, look at this guy's gigantic head.
Okay, Nick Ferraggio is a serial killer.
Oh my god. No, that's a woman with a shaved head.
Joseph Harrison is Bo Burnham?
Yeah. Dude, this is insane.
Hey, there's Kirk Douglas. Michael Douglas. Shit, I can't remember. Fuck, I messed all of them up. I'm going to try to say Kurt Russell, and I just kept saying Kirk Douglas in my head.
This guy's kind of got Elvis-y vibes.
Yeah, he does, actually.
You wouldn't be too bad, Travis Bergman.
He kind of was like a handsome version of that, Dalmatian guy from the Suicide Squad? The Polka Dot Man?
David Dasmalchian.
Dasmalchian.
We should try and get him in the movie. Hey, you want to play a weirdo pervert? Like,
he's like, oh, I'm typecast again.
Yeah, we need a weirdo pervert. Oh, actually, he wouldn't be bad for the fucking fat Elvis killer. You put him in the blue suede gimp mask and everything. I think he'd be good. Oh, whoa, 5'10". Hello, Danzig. Joe Vingi.
I like your name.
Yes. Hello, Danzig. He's got a big fat head. You could be our Danzig, bro guy. Shirtless. Homo. Now he looks like a surfer tool. This guy fucks. Would it be funny if we're looking through this and one of the dudes we pull up is watching us? It's like, what the fuck? That's me.
What'd you say, bro?
That's my gay headshot. Matthew Lockhart. Jesus Christ, this guy's ripped out of his mind. 5'7". Can you wear a gay wig?
He looks like a Jersey Shore guy.
Yeah, holy shit. This guy looks like he's on roids. He's like jacked like the fucking, was it the Croatians in Rock and Rolla?
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
and he is 5'7".
Christ, dude. Yeah, right? I'm 5'7". I weigh nothing.
I'm angry all the time.
I just got to put an Old English tattoo on his chest. This is hilarious. I don't know how I got to page 10. I must have really skipped by a lot of pages really quick.
You found a fucking list, man. Lady Gaga.
Always some creepy dudes. Yeah, man.
5'6". Oh, he's no.
This ginger guy. A lot of big motherfuckers on here. Yeah, I need a big fat guy too. Like a Jonah Hill fat guy.
And that's how you get William Steele.
I need a big old fat guy. Need
With
a big
fat
old
dong.
fat guy. Yeah.
Big old fat dog.
We need a fat guy with a fat hog. They're like, what? There's a nude scene? No, we just want to see it. Whoa, look at this guy's hair. Justin Riesel.
Whoa. Some doo-wop.
Billy Jenkins looks like he's got some bodies in the closet. He could be a guy. Booker T. Siobhan Smith. That guy's looks like Booker T. Sorry. Guess that's a compliment. I don't really know. Oh, what a great headshot. You can't see what this dude looks like.
He's rocking though, dude.
Backstage. It's either great or retarded. Whoa. Know what, too? Some of these guys probably
Questlove.
yeah, wow. Some of these guys probably got John Legend.
I like how you're pointing to the white guy in the middle. It's John Legend.
Yeah, John Legend. Famous white guy, John Legend.
Oh, I love that. You can't see the guy's face. That's awesome. Oh, that's Spencer Desmond right there.
Yeah, right. I got my stunt double.
All clean cut.
Oh, we got an audition tape and a flashback scene.
Damn, 8 minutes? I don't know if we can hear it.
I don't know if you need to.
A real actor doesn't need words. Nah, I can't hear it.
I don't know if he said anything, honestly.
He just looks like he's incontinent.
Nope. Whack. His foot stance, whack.
But Hector Gonzalez, he's tight as fuck.
Yeah. We're going to check him out real quick.
Wait, so
oh, shit, son. He's an ex-Marine.
Oh, damn, he's a Marine.
You weren't wrong. Tight as fuck. Dude, when he was in the Marines, he was like the tiniest he'd ever been. Like, what the fuck? This guy, give this guy like a fucking TLC show. Like, I was a 90-pound Marine. And he's a cop now, dude. We gotta get this guy.
Want a finder's fee.
It's like someone's dad.
Hey, listen to my buddy Preble.
Yeah.
5'6", athletic tone, weapons training, military
Chelsea,
training, police training.
PD. God damn.
Spencer's like, spank bank.
Yeah, right. Sex machine. No, not join now. I didn't mean to click that. I thought I was clicking the stop button.
No.
Yeah, I can't. Tell me you didn't just say that. Say what? I don't even remember what we said now. This guy's name is Tofu Tan. Wow. This
Some bro.
Get me down a rabbit hole. Whoa! I gotta share it again. It just got out of control.
It's just a butthole.
This dude. We got an O
What does
face
he look like?
and this Michael Trika dude. Who looks like a hammerhead Jesus.
And then Max Ofosu is just like, what am I doing here with these guys?
Yeah, god damn it. I'm gonna be on backstage with a bunch of retards.
Oh, Scott Karan.
Yeah, I'm like, I wish it just immediately started playing videos of their acting so I could see how fucking
At the
crazy
same time.
they are.
Just like 9 videos played at the same time.
Whoa, this guy
Chris
with the
Gagne.
mustache.
I like that mustache, Gagne.
Oh.
See, there you go. 1 minute. That's what your fucking video should be. 1 minute.
Yeah.
And an 8-minute fucking Oscar bait bullshit. I can't hear it anymore.
Yeah, I didn't share audio this time like a tard.
It kind of reminds me of like a 90s metal video that would be on like Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, this feels like a cheap old Slipknot video or something. He's a bigger dude too. He might not be bad for baby teeth. This is definitely something he shot on his own.
Oh, he's happy.
All right, good for him. Comedy at Strange Brew.
I'm sure it's gonna be hilarious with no sound.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Oh wait, he's a phony. Look at that third pick. He's got a beard and a side part.
He works
like at Staples there.
Yeah, right. He looks like what is it? Macon Blair and Jonah Hill fucked one night, and this came out.
I like the first pick. That's how he should always be.
Yeah, sexual Tyrannosaurus.
Stay golden, pony boy.
Yeah, don't fucking dull your shine for no one, Chris Gagne. You, Mike Pratt, though, you go back in the closet. Whoa, Christopher Barrow?
6'6". He's huge.
That guy's, fucking enormous and looks like you would not want to see him in a dark alley.
He looks nice. Look at that face. That's a nice guy.
That is one of the most unique-looking men I have ever seen. That's like Black Willem Dafoe.
I'll bet he is the nicest dude ever.
Oh, probably, but I'm saying that is a unique...
Look at that big smile.
We've been talking all night about, like, fucking, like, beautiful, ugly people, and this is, like, one of the most unique men I've ever seen. Right next to, like, a dope-head white guy who literally looks like he's nodding off on heroin in his headshot.
I just got off my job at American Eagle.
Oh, he doesn't have any fucking... Damn, bodybuilding, security work, doorman, boxing, swimming, basketball, whistling. Has a driver's license.
That's great.
I was hoping he'd have like fucking a video or something. I was like, I imagine this dude's got like a Michael Clark Duncan voice or something. Weird dating site. Yeah. Look at all these hot dudes. It almost feels like an FBI like most wanted list too. Josiah Conway.
It's like Kevin.
Justin Fortin. This just looks like a random dude now.
Well, they're all random dudes to somebody.
It looks like Kevin. Holy shit. He's known for his physical comedy. We got him.
He's an alt comic. If he's an alt comic, we can just skip.
We got him, boys.
We can skip.
We'll use them for one of the dominatrixes. Man, finding dude talent's going to be interesting. Just going to cast a bunch of YouTubers and comedians.
Hey, look at that. There's a Jeffrey. I just saw Jeffrey with the G. You missed him.
What?
He's like a unicorn.
Where was there a Jeffrey with a G? There's no Jeffrey here. There's a
The last page you were on. No, the last page. At the bottom. Look at him, that beautiful bastard.
Would it be funny if it was you? It's like, oh, Jeff, you bitch.
I just wanted attention.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Here's a weird-looking dude.
Oh, yeah, with the 2002 leather jacket.
You got far apart eyebrows. Or eyes. Eyebrows.
He does karate.
Oh, he does karate or something, too, yeah. Another secretly jacked dude, non-union, driver's license, athletic, blonde hair, blue eyes.
How is drawing a skill for actors?
Yeah, I don't know. Skateboarding he listed, too. It was like, okay, guy.
I mean, I can see that. Like, that's in a bunch of movies, but drawing? You can draw. You can show my hands drawing the picture. He's the stunt hands.
Holy shit. Kevin Smith. There's some guys on here where I'm like,
I want to eat your face.
you should have.
Oh, Spencer.
Yeah, I'm good. Video or something? None of these dudes ever end up having video. Maybe we should look at Union guys.
Linato. Is that Karen O?
Apply.
Hey, that kind of looks like the Punisher there. Jared Troilo.
Too young. He's a fetus.
What an actor. What's his fucking face? That played the Punisher?
Thomas Jane?
No, the Netflix one.
Oh, John Bernthal?
Yeah, he was like John Bernthal.
Yes. Yeah, this is dog shit. We're winding down for the night. Whoa!
What the fuck? This is a murderer's row of freaks.
Yeah, what the fuck? That guy's wearing a bow tie? This is
Bill
insane.
Conteve? His giant head?
For every normal guy, there's a guy I'm certain uploaded their backstage profile and then got thrown in prison.
He's Richards.
Rob's dad.
Badass.
This is insanity. Soup Haroff.
What her off?
What? Gabriel Ricker? This dude's 4'11"?
Oh, you gotta cast him now.
Dude, that's insane.
He looks like he has Benjamin Button disease. Like he looks like he's an 80-year-old man in a young boy's body.
He's a musician.
I survived the depression.
It's insane, dude. He's like... Just him performing tons of music. This is wacky. 4'11".
Oh, he even got the high pants too. Look.
That just threw me for a loop. I was like, wait,
Ooh.
what?
Ian Kramer's got a great head of hair. Look at that.
Right? That guy looks rendered by a computer. He doesn't look real. This guy, though, 6'3". Kind of weird looking. We got a reel.
He kind of looks like the fucking dude from The Strain, the Russian dude.
He is noticeably gay. Not that that's a bad thing or anything, just not for the character I was thinking of. He was like, oh, girl, what is going on? I was like, oh, no. This guy looks too nice.
Well, he probably needs the fight training for that good head of hair. Gotta protect it.
Yeah, right. He has fight training, though. Damn.
Hazel eyes.
Yeah, what a homo. Whoa, hairy fan. Looks like a straight up samurai.
I don't want to hear about his hairy fan.
He's in a Chinese Red Dead Redemption.
He's just a cringe actor. Hey, it's Gambino.
He had listed what he can play, and it is all...
He has sword fighting.
Yeah, right? But that Asian dude had what he had listed to play, and it was all just like Pacific Islanders and different Asian ethnicities listed. Doesn't say what he is, just like 30 different ethnicities. Like, this kind of looks like a discount version of the kid from Nip Tuck.
He looks like a kid that's doing a TikTok filter to make himself look older.
Oh, this guy's like a theater nerd. The Society.
Gangly boy.
Gangly boy on a Netflix movie.
Huh.
Nope. Although he does look creepy as shit. That's my whole thing is like, I can work with the look. I can make you better. Manny D'Souza.
Is Manny wearing makeup?
What the fuck? Yeah.
Memorizing lines as well as Christopher Walken can turn. What did they say?
One vowel into three.
Yes.
Something he read on like Twitter sometime and was like, "That's a
This
good
is gonna be.
put in my bio."
This is gonna be really funny. They're gonna want to cast me because of this.
This is insanity. Absolute nuts shit. We're clearly not gonna find ugly enough people on here. We're going to have to go uglier.
Craigslist it is.
Yes, you know what we'll do. We'll go
Not conforming.
now. Oh, you want to go non-conforming, do you? Whoa.
Hey, Tulsi Gabbard.
Kitty Jane Creek looks like a nice girl.
And Misha Tate. Oh, yeah. I think she's a great actress.
You think the girl with her boobs out in the photo would want to play a dominatrix? Dude, all of her photos are just slutty photos of her. What a nice girl. It's like, wait, am I on backstage still? Everyone else is like a normal headshot. Yeah, how do I check does nude scenes? Do they have that?
You know what? Check casting couch.
Nudity.
No skills. A skill.
Oh. Yeah, am I gonna have to cast a bunch of porn stars to play the fucking dominatrixes in these movies? This movie? Hire models. Yes, I need models. No, those are children. This is weird.
No children.
Yep, we're done.
Back away.
This is over. That's a wrap. She looks like Hans. She looks like a great actress. Yeah, right. Well, there's a couple of dominatrix roles. I guess technically like 3. The White Rabbit and the 2 dominatrix chicks.
We only need 2 because we got 1.
White Rabbit as a
In-house.
big titty lady works great. Big titty lady and basically like a body harness. There's technically not really any nudity unless they want to show nudity. But it's not needed. It's more so like an uncomfortable sex appeal that you're like, I don't want to be horny right now. This is the worst. Put that shit away.
It's like an animal magnetism.
Yeah. Any little people on this site? Probably. That's what we should do, is make all the clowns in the clown scene little people. That I want to... There's like a few shots in it that I think I'm going to put into the script that I know for sure I want to do. And there's this one part where I guess the hero essentially is like completely losing his shit. And I wanted to do a snorri cam shot, which is the Wrong Turn movies actually used it a lot. It's a camera mount that mounts to the actor that you're filming. And so when they move around, the camera moves with them, like turning and stuff. But it makes it essentially look like what's it called? Like the surroundings are moving really fast, but the like actor in focus almost looks like they're like floating through it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of some other like more famous ones. Yeah, the Requiem for a Dream ones with all the characters, I guess, are technically Snorri Cam shots. There's the was it Jonah Hill ones and Get Him to the Greek. I think it's used in Wolf of Wall Street as well, actually. But I had this idea for one where it's actually a pretty simple shot. Is basically like in this one location, characters technically killing a bunch of people, but the whole idea was it's like a Snorri Cam where you can't really see what the fuck's going on around him. He's just like running around in the chaos, blasting a shotgun and getting fucking blood splattered all over him. So it's basically like this dude can run around the set and we just have to have bodies laid out and fucking have him like moving around like a madman and have people fucking spraying him with blood and getting out of frame as quickly as possible. Just like time it all right and choreograph it really well. But I thought it'd be a pretty cool little weird breakup of everything else going on in the middle of all that. There's a couple of really weird shots. There's like a wide shot where the fat Elvis killer gets his head blown off. That's a fun one. Finding someone that can sort of play like a weirdo, shitty Elvis will be fun. I almost think it's funnier if the guy thinks he's a really good Elvis and he's just like a dog shit Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe he looks exactly the part, but he cannot nail the personality like at all.
Both looks nothing like him and thinks he's doing a great impersonation.
Yeah. He just has the hair and that's why he wears the mask. It's weird too when I'm like gonna have to find an actor for that and then basically make a blue suede gimp mask myself. Like having to sew that up in the house and like possibly enlist my girlfriend's mother's help to help me like actually make it look like a gimp mask is gonna be a real weird one. Hey, basically my mother-in-law, you want to help me make a blue suede gimp mask that I promise isn't for anything weird? Yeah, we'll wrap it on that. It's 1:15. Thanks for watching tonight, dudes. Thanks for hanging out, and
He's come by.
see you later.
Was it